Hey, listeners, a quick reminder. Your favorite podcast hosts from Bad Movies, Worst People are going to be featured on Bucket of Chum's C6 Cinema coming up this week on May 2nd. The episode will be available. We joined him and discussed Shark Exorcist. It sucked, and it was awesome. It'll be available everywhere you get podcasts May 2nd, and it'll be available on YouTube May 1st. So remember to check that out. Bucket of Chum. Hey, have you guys ever heard of Patreon?
I think I have.
Yeah, I think it's like a royal guard.
It's that maybe, but also it's a website where podcasters and other creators can get people to give them money for making their product.
You mean we can get paid for this?
Kind of. For a mere $3 a month, you, loyal listener, can feed or get drunk a starving podcaster.
I feel like we need some like Sarah McLachlan behind this kind of. I will remember you.
I almost did with arms wide open. I was like, that's not the song.
That's how you get people to not give you money.
So check it out. Patreon.com/worstpeople. That's WORSE. $3 a month. You get access to exclusive episodes. Find us, love us, support us. Thank you. Welcome back, listeners. It's the end of Kaijubilation. It's also going to be Bay. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
Worst people, assemble.
But I like saying worst people.
So say worst people.
I married the worst
I
people.
don't know what's happening.
That was me this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had no idea. We watched a movie the other day that I was like, huh. But we kind of made it work. And then today I'm like, why do I understand that movie better?
Are you talking about the Exorcist shark movie where there's a demon shark possessing people ?
Yeah.
Nuns?
Yes.
Yeah, that movie made exponentially more sense than this.
You said you like to get wet.
By the way, for more on that, tune into our friend Steve on Bucket of Chum, where we are all going to be guests on his special C6 Cinema talking about Shark Exorcist.
Yep.
Definitely check out that.
Buckle up.
That movie does make more sense than this movie. This movie is 2017's Transformers: The Last Night by Michael Bay, starring our good friend Marcus.
Oh, bro. Happy to be back here. You know what I'm saying? I liked working on this project.
He's joining us today to make fun of the movie with us.
There's no fucking script for this movie. I loved it. They said just go show up and flex a little bit. I threatened to punch a little minority kid in the face early on.
Twice.
That's how I know it was a good movie.
Dude, right during that, we were literally making jokes. I was like, he saved all those kids. He would have just taken the white kid. And then he turns around to that little Hispanic kid and he's like, I'll punch you in the fucking face, bro.
Punch in the face real fucking hard. And I think
Which
he wanted
was
to.
funny.
Yeah, it was.
I did
if
laugh.
you're threatening violence against a child, I'm in.
All of my legitimate laughs in this are people being inappropriately threatening or
I have
Anthony Hopkins.
well, that's it. Anthony Hopkins is most of them.
I have a couple other laughs, like genuine laughs. But yeah, can we talk about who played? Well, actually, get to your notes first.
Yeah.
Well, so 2017, it's 154 minutes.
Blech.
It's so long. This is the lowest grossing but most expensive Transformers movie.
I found it to be the grossest.
Whoa, choked on air.
It's a good thing you're not on a podcast.
I'm getting killed by
Good
an
thing you don't
Autobot.
survive on oxygen. If you're choking on air, buddy, you're not long for this world.
It's called a ghost dick.
Ghost
Technically,
whackers.
this movie. So up to this point, it was the lowest grossing and most expensive one. Bumblebee made less money, but also cost exponentially less to make, so
Okay,
it was more of a success.
Gotcha. And then what?
This
we
one
just
cost
talked about it. What's
200
after this one? Beasts.
Oh, yeah.
In the main, in the Transformers Prime line.
See what he did there?
Yeah, I did.
It's, the Beast Wars, whatever the fuck it was called.
Rise of the Beast?
There you
We're
go.
going to
Rise
do
of the
that
Beast.
next Bay, aren't we?
No.
No, he didn't direct it. This is the last Michael Bay directed one. This is the last Marky Mark starring one. Huh. So we'll have to go back and do the other ones that we
They
haven't
showed me a
watched
fucking
yet.
script, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be next to Ron Perlman. He's fucking huge.
I read a piece of whatever trivia that was like, he was signed a contract for 3 movies, but basically it was like, but also it said he could leave when he wanted to. And after this one, he was like, no.
What a contract. You
Really?
must be here for 10 years. Or whenever you want to leave, you can go.
All right, on.
I mean, it's kind of the podcast contract I didn't sign. I got to be here forever, but I
you
can also
signed it.
leave when I want.
You don't remember signing it?
I don't remember signing it. Your Honor, Jay Whiteneck here, and my client was under the inebriation of some libations, and habeas corpus should not count.
You did sign it last night.
Oh, damn. Your Honor, I rescind.
But yeah, this one cost $217 million. It only made $130 million in North America.
How to do
But
overseas.
worldwide, it made $605.
Yeah.
But it's still considered a failure.
Because of, well, I mean, but we talked about it on one of the other ones we did. There had to be a bunch of advertisements in this. Not nearly
I
as
saw
much
Bud Light.
as, what the fuck did we cover last night? No, this is last night.
Extinction. What the fuck?
Age
Day
of Extinction.
Yeah.
Age of Extinction at the time of shooting, or airing rather, was the most commercialized movie in history, right?
Yeah.
You're right, because they had like literally everything in there.
There was
a
a
sponsor.
goddamn Mountain Dew transformer, like a vending machine that turned into a transformer
Yeah.
Mountain
Yeah.
Dew.
An
Fuck off.
Oreo one.
Yeah.
There's
That's
I
just
mean,
good things.
in
The
this
beet
one,
pill.
I mean, I noticed the Bud Light one. It's pretty obvious. When
Yeah.
the little robot brings him Bud Light.
And then all the Porsches.
But all the cars and stuff. I mean, that's all this movie really. These movies really are just big car commercials.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like they have these sleek, sexy cars, and they're never dirty.
They are car commercials for people that could never afford the cars.
Yeah.
Like, everybody watching this, no one's running out like, I fucking need that Lambo.
Lambo.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of car commercials, I noticed in this one, I don't know if it was there in the last one, but Ken Watanabe's character Drift, who's in this movie for somewhere between 45 seconds and a minute,
A day of work
Yeah.
for the actor.
he's the Japanese samurai transformer. He turns into a Mercedes. I was like, are they trying to say something here?
Dude, why wouldn't it be like a nice, well-made Japanese car?
Why is he turning into a German car?
Yeah.
But he does have a Mercedes logo right in the middle of his chest. And I was like, none of the other ones have. Like, I don't see Bumblebee with a Chevy logo across his chest.
No, and
No.
strangely enough, I don't know if you know what Bumblebee is in the toy line. He's not a Camaro.
No,
He
he
was
was
a
a
beetle.
beetle.
He's
right?
a beetle.
Yeah.
And turns out he was around in Germany in World War II.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Or was he? Ask the next movie.
Let's talk about who invented the Volkswagen. It was Hitler, and now we got Bumblebee modeling after it.
Speaking of Hitler,
I often do.
this is directed by Michael Bay. No,
I was like, where's he going with this?
there's a lot more mentions of Hitler in this movie than I was expecting from any Transformers movie.
What were you expecting? Like one?
0.
Okay.
And there were at least 2, not including the entire scene that we get a flashback to World War II for
Yeah.
some reason.
But at one point, wasn't it somebody's like, careful, that's the watch that killed Hitler?
Yeah, it's a little
Or the
crazy beep boop that just goes, probably Frank Welker.
Oh, definitely Frank Welker.
Like, he's in the studio doing the Megatron stuff. They're like, all right, that's a wrap on Megatron. He's like, no, my name's Frank Welker. Like, no, it's not a wrap on you.
Yeah,
Can
you're-
you sit there and make noises for the next 2 hours?
Just gonna mic you up and let you go. Just let you go town.
He's like, I'm signing a separate contract for that. More money. Thank
this
you.
is a picture of what you're going to sound like. You decide what it sounds like.
And it's funny. So this movie brings back a bunch of the people from the first 3, or a few of them at least.
Yeah, you got Josh Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel, for some reason.
DiMaggio, the guy that voices Bender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John
John.
DiMaggio. But I think he was in the last one too as
Yeah.
a robot. But
Oh, you mean
Jesus.
bring
the
it back
people
like
who
they haven't
didn't weren't
been
in the
here.
4th one. Yeah, the Jesus,
The
John
Jesus.
Turturro, kind of.
Which how the
And
fuck? Why is John Turturro in this movie?
I don't know what he's doing. He's just hanging out in Cuba calling Anthony Hopkins.
And
'Cause
I
he's
just
telling
more
him
mean
how
like put him in the movie, like put him in. So let
Yeah.
me see him do stuff. I love this actor, and you had him just hanging around in a Wyatt Bear and swimming trunks all day, which hey sounds good.
Michael Bay went to Cuba, didn't take a crew, just took a camera, and he just stood. He's like, all right, now get on that payphone and talk.
Yeah.
I wonder if John Turturro was like vacationing in Cuba. He's like, I'll do the movie, man, but I ain't coming
You're
to you.
coming
Like,
here.
this is just what I'm doing. You want to fucking put a giant transformer right next to me? Fucking do it. But here's the footage you're getting from me.
Michael Bay lives in Miami, so he just hopped across. And,
Be there in
and
no
then
time.
also
And the general.
who's hilariously played by Glenn Morshower, and he's named General Morshower. And there's a thing, I brought this up because he says, right when
See
Megatron...
the gingery dude?
Yeah. When Megatron starts talking before they identify him, he's like, I recognize that voice anywhere. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't, because Frank Welker didn't play Megatron in the first 3 movies.
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving did.
Oh.
Was he in all 3? The first 3?
Yeah.
I knew he was the first one. Recognize that voice anywhere. No, you wouldn't.
Okay, so yeah, there's no way that he would recognize that voice.
No, but hey, whatever. I mean, Frank Welker is probably doing a pretty good Hugo Weaving. I don't know. I saw that first one when it came out, and I haven't seen the other 3, so
Yeah.
other 2, whatever.
I mean, there's just no energy in my body for trying to care about this franchise. I will say this. This is the best the robots have looked fighting. Where I can actually tell who's who.
Mostly.
I can see mostly, yes. And I did say best looking and say it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's just that
towards the end when you have like the generic demon ones and stuff where
Sure.
I'm confused. But yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You can see things. Not everything's not just rotating gears and shit. Like
maybe you're confused because that one big horned one, the demon one, is 5 little robots put together.
yeah, but there's also at the final battle. It's Megatron and a bunch of robots.
His army.
Knights.
but
yeah.
they're not the ones from.
No, the knights are on Optimus' side.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're not the ones that we are introduced to in a 10-minute scene in the middle of the movie, because those guys only had 3 minutes of screen time and all died.
Yeah.
So I don't know who these guys are, and they're all generic looking, but you can tell who's Megatron. You can tell who all the Autobots are.
Yes.
It's pretty
Yes.
clear.
The Bumblebee Prime fight was pretty fucking solid of seeing where weapons are striking instead of those early ones. Like, I can't see what's happening.
Yeah, it's just goop mashing into
metals
goop.
and nuts and bolts, piss and ass.
I have some good news for you guys. This movie was
Good
only
news,
154 minutes
Oh, because?
the original cut Michael Bay did was 1 hour longer.
Oh my fuck.
Holy shit, 3.5 hours? Yeah. The only way you get away with that is you fucking put Daniel Day-Lewis in here.
Yes.
I transform into you. Transforms into anything, dude.
He's still just trying to get oil out of the ground.
I could not imagine. No.
I lead your Autobots.
So let's just talk about what the hard quote story in this movie. So we start in England, the Dark Ages, which was apparently 1600 years before now. I'm like, I don't think that all that stuff happened in the year 300. It's supposed to be like the 1500s, isn't it? Like Merlin.
I thought it was supposed to be 700, not year 7.
Okay, I don't know. They say the Dark Ages. I guess England had like the knights and all that shit for a real long time, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they still have a queen.
Much as I love
Or king,
history, I don't know
guess.
shit about this fictional Arthur and all that. What's funny too, so my roommate was there while I put it on, and she's like, what is this? I was like, it's Transformers. She's like, no, it's not. There's a bunch of knights and there's catapults.
But
and
we
there's
got
swords.
We got Stanley Tucci.
And I was, yeah, of course we did. But and don't even get me started. You're about to. But like, she was just like, "What the fuck are you watching?" I was like, "It's Transformers." She's like, "No, it's not." Like,
so apparently
this movie will transform.
Apparently Michael Bay was supposed to make a King Arthur movie back in like 2004 or something.
Thank fucking God he didn't. You
And-
know what I don't need? Exploding horses.
Well, we got him.
We did, but I don't need them.
I don't understand. There were so many explosions in this medieval battle. I was so baffled. I was like, "What is this, Lord of the Rings?"
The fire looks so bad.
The fucking end, the knights are swinging their hammers and it's hitting the floor and exploding.
Yeah.
It reminded me, there's a thing in Mexico called the Festival Exploding Hammers that I really want to go to.
Okay, let's go.
They put like explosives on the end of a big sledgehammer and then swing it into the ground, and I'm all about it. It looks so dangerous.
Is it near Dia de los Muertos and we can make a weekend of it?
No, and it's pretty down south Mexico where I don't think someone with my hair color's allowed.
There's people like you over there.
Hey, we've got a whole
There's
restaurant
no
named
people
after
like
you.
me. Güero Canero.
Although that's blonde, but he's not a blonde.
He was the
No,
red.
it's white.
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was like this. He said in some interview he was in, maybe it was like one of them there, drivers, drive-ins, and what? You know, the Guy
Diners,
Fieri
drive-ins,
show.
and thives.
Diners,
thieves?
drive-ins, and thighs.
Nobody here can. Dives this is thighs.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives. We have to be better than Guy Fieri. We have to be as good as Guy. We can't let him win at his own fucking game.
But I think it was on that or something. He said it's like the cinnamon blonde, which
Yeah.
sounds like a ginger to me.
Okay.
It's a cinnamon white boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I always thought Wedo was white.
Wedo
That's
was
what I,
white.
that's what I
I
got
think
called in
it's-
high school. So
I think it's like the combination of things, and it's like slang of like, you know, people who actually speak the language understand.
Gotcha.
I was Weta. My nickname was Weta at one of
Yeah.
my jobs because I was the only white girl there.
They called me Weta.
Weta.
Weta Nua.
She didn't even know how to spell it. I had to spell it for her.
Get your
like,
insults correct.
I only speak it. I don't write it.
The accent goes here, you idiot.
She spelled it with a W.
So we have King Arthur and some knights, and they're about to lose to some Vikings.
Oh, no. Heathenistic
Saxons.
barbarians.
Yeah.
Like, as she's recounting this later, she's like, it was a fight. What was it for? Like lifestyles, and only one could be the victor: the civilized white English people, or these barbarian spit heathens.
Dude, when she's recounting the story to her students, she's just talking about like their sinewy bodies dripping sweat, and I'm like, this is inappropriate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these girls are high school at best, maybe junior high.
it was university.
Yeah, I think they're
I
supposed
don't
to be
know,
in
man.
university, but that one girl who was the youngest one that looked like she was getting all gooey over it was like she looked like she was probably a 15-year-old.
That's who I'm thinking of. Is the one closest.
But we do have
I don't remember. It's so long ago.
Stanley Tucci
Hours ago, literally.
returning to the franchise because
Yeah.
his character died in the last movie we watched.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now he's playing Merlin, who's a drunk, which is one of the funnier lines. One of the only times I laughed.
what is
I'm
he-
sozzled.
I'm sozzled. Perhaps one more nip.
And he just
That's one
slams
hell of a
the
nip.
wall.
Guzzles that I'm assuming wine.
Yeah. So
Mead.
and we have Anthony Hopkins.
Mead.
We have Anthony Hopkins doing narration about what's going on. So Transformers have been made illegal, and the government's made the TRF, whatever it stands for.
We don't ever get told
No.
what that is.
No.
I'm guessing it's like Transformer Recon Force or
Yeah, something that's
Reactionary Force.
yeah, something like that because they don't tell us, which is stupid.
Transforming's really fun.
Maybe they told us at the end of the other one.
No, because it says this movie is posing to us that it got that where we just watched it happen.
Because it's all in reaction to the Hong Kong incident, as I read in the description that was never mentioned in this movie from the last movie, where all the big battle happened in Hong Kong.
I felt like I didn't watch the last movie, and we definitely did. We have a recording of it.
Yeah, I can
And
prove it.
I feel like I didn't watch it.
I
But
remember.
if you want to get an update, go back and listen to our old episode from last May.
Oh, I bet we sound mad.
all I remember from that is him arguing with his daughter about dating a guy, and they race a car.
Yeah, yeah.
And dinosaurs show up
At the
for
end of the
less time than they do in this movie, I think.
Yes. Halfway through this movie, we had more dinosaurs than we did in the movie about the dinosaurs.
Did they allude to the knights in the last one?
Yes.
Because
Yeah, they said
he
something
got
about
he
knights.
has a sword and shield.
Yeah.
When we get to Optimus floating up in space, I like how it's like he went home to go find answers. No, man, he's floating in orbit, dead.
Yeah,
is
he looks dead.
He is not going anywhere by will. He's floating.
I do like Stanley Tucci, though, talking to this robot at the beginning, and he's like, I'll give up everything if you help us. I'll give up drink. I'll give up money. I'll give up I'll give up drink and money.
Drinking and money is fine. Drinking and money is fine. Yeah.
And so he gets a magic staff,
And then he's out of this fucking movie.
and
they
then he
make
flies
a
around with
dragon?
King Ghidorah. But apparently this thing is supposed to be called Dragon Spire, I think, is what I read in the trivia.
It's
It's
Ghidorah.
never told to us, but it looks exactly like Ghidorah. We literally just watched Godzilla King of Monsters last night.
You notice what shirt your husband's wearing? Ghidorah. It's adorable.
It's Dragon Spire. It's not Ghidorah.
I
love the
remember this. I
Transformers.
remember this toy, but this is just out of my price range as a kid. It was one of
looks
the
like an
big
expensive
ones.
one,
Like it was
yeah.
a big bad to transform.
But so the dragon helps them defeat the Saxons by rolling around like a dog on them.
Which how's it not killing knights too?
It's exactly what I said. I was like, this horde is a mixture of people fighting. Are the horde fighting themselves?
Yeah.
Because he just rolls across the entire battlefield.
I thought he was rolling across the people with the catapults. So,
Well,
like, the bad
I mean, the
guys.
knights who count, the Knights of the Round Table and Arthur are off to the side watching the battle
It's fucking
because
classism, dude. They have the poor people fighting for him. They're like, all right, just kill everybody. Just roll around on all the people fighting. We'll be on the hilltop watching.
we'll
Yeah.
be remembered as great warriors, but you go warrior.
Go die in a way you seem fit.
And so that's that. And he has to hide the staff or something.
I
And then
played that
Stanley
game.
Tucci's out of the movie, unfortunately.
Yep.
So we go.
That's when I checked out.
Right away, huh?
So we go 1,600 years later, because I guess this is the year 417. I don't know. Again, I don't know fake history
Yeah.
or real history. And Optimus is in space. He's going there, all that stuff. Tony Hale is in this movie,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, dude, if you read this cast to me, I'm having a pretty good time.
Who's Tony Hale?
Buster Bluth.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I was all, hey.
We were just
Buster.
blowing through nap time.
Yeah, I mean, John Turturro, Tony Hale,
Anthony
Steve
Hopkins.
Buscemi, Anthony Hopkins,
John Goodman.
John Goodman, Ken Watanabe, or is that how I'm saying it?
Watanabe.
Fuck. I keep fucking it up.
It's okay. I think he appreciates your effort.
I keep trying to remember what I've figured out it actually was, and then I say the one that I was saying wrong anyway. Because it's not me being ignorant, it's me being stupid.
Which is forgivable.
Okay.
Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
Got it.
Golf clap.
I'm not going to clap for myself. Who else is in this movie that should be awesome? Frank Welker. I don't know. There's a bunch of people in this movie, and this movie sucks.
Yeah.
Because none of them are actually in this movie, except for fucking Marky Mark and
Can't get
Peter
rid of me.
Quill's mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't hate her.
She's really
Laura
pretty.
Babcock, is that?
Yes.
I don't know her from too much. I mean, I had to look up who she was to know it was Peter Quill's mom.
Laura Haddock.
Laura Haddock.
Who?
Yeah, no, I said that to Whitney. I was like, all we had in this movie was Marky Mark and fucking Peter Quill's mom, and she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, isn't that chick Meredith Quill? And she's like, So I went
Yeah.
and looked it up, and I was like, yeah,
I had to look it up. I didn't have that information.
I recognized her.
In my
but-
defense,
But she's good.
She was in a bald cap and death makeup.
True. I mean,
Only
we,
in the
we
first
see her.
one. In the second one, she
I don't
wasn't.
remember.
Oh, she's hanging around with Kurt Russell, driving that car, singing Brandy and shit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because it's the same lady. But
All right.
they're the only ones really in this movie, because there's like a girl who the actress's name is Isabella, and her character's name is Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another creative one.
Yeah, I'm noticing Marky Mark's co-stars are getting younger and younger.
Right?
I know. I was a little worried at first. I was
Yeah.
like, is this going to be his new love interest? Because I'm pretty sure this girl, she's playing 14, but I think she's like 16.
I think he just likes to be the biggest person on set.
On
He's
the
like,
camera?
give me somebody fucking smaller.
His daughter's not in this movie. His fake movie daughter, I mean.
Yeah.
Isn't in this movie except for in voice.
One phone call.
And so I guess they're like, this is a replacement for
Actually,
his daughter.
that was Frank Welker doing that phone call. she went home for the day. And like, Frank, can you do us a solid?
All right, just watch this scene from the first movie. Now do that voice. The first Marky Mark movie.
Dear Dad. Oh, spot on, Frank.
But that girl's also not in this movie, though. It's supposed to be like his surrogate daughter, right? They have like a moment about like how
What
they're
family?
yeah.
And I'm nice, by the way. That was well done.
Thank you.
They make it a thing where, and I'm not asking for it. I don't want a little kid adventure, but you do get the feeling like she's going to be the much bigger hero than she is.
Well, yeah, because it starts
do.
with these little kids. And one of them's like, y'all want to see a dead robot? And I was like, oh, we're doing a Stand By Me thing. All right, cool. Who's running across the train tracks, but no such luck. They run into the quarantine zone, which is still on fire?
Yeah,
Question
it's
mark?
still smoking and burning.
Dude, there's rubble still like falling. It's like,
I don't know
constant-
I don't know where this is, because this isn't from the last
Chicago?
movie, right? Because the last movie was Hong Kong, where the big battle happened, and these kids aren't from Hong Kong.
No.
So this is from a previous movie, and everything's still on fire.
Or something in between that we didn't see.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
guess
just trying to
that's
say like because it does say that without Megatron's gone, Starscream is dead. Without leaders, chaos ensues. So there are just Autobots and Decepticons going at it in the streets everywhere.
Okay.
So
yeah.
this
Okay.
is probably just a big fucking battle or scrap between because these guys can cause a bunch of damage.
yeah.
I mean, they are just arsenals.
Yeah. I mean, they almost destroy as many national or cultural landmarks in this movie as a Roland Emmerich
They're
movie.
national
so-
monuments somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roland Emmerich is going to do the next one, by the way.
Oh, man. When I saw the first trailer for the new Godzilla and Kong movie, when it first started, and the first thing you see is Kong's little robot glove,
Uh-huh.
we were at the theater, and it
Power
popped
glove,
up,
dude.
and I was like, another Transformers movie? And then I saw Kong, and I was like, oh,
They're waiting.
thank God.
They're waiting. They're going to reboot it soon, I think.
I mean,
But
they,
the one thing you need, if you are going to reboot it, and I'm against reboots, know this, you got to get Peter Cullen to still
I think until he
voice it.
dies, he will be Optimus Prime.
He's the only person that's ever voiced him in any media.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty dope.
He's done the cartoons. He's done the video games. Like, it's fucking awesome that he's just locked that down.
They're going to have his voice on file and then just type it in and then it'll speak it because he's a
sells it.
robot
The whole
anyway.
AI thing, yeah. I mean, that's part of what the whole strike was about them not being able to do that with people without their permission.
Yeah.
Well,
Because these companies
you're
are like,
dead.
well, you worked for us, you signed a contract, we own your voice and likeness now.
Well, when you're dead.
Yeah. That's the point. The part of the strike was about it came down to like the Tarkin thing and stuff where they like bring actors back from the dead. And
He's talked about Star Wars before I did, but I'm about to. Katie Sackhoff, who plays Bo-Katan in the Mandalorian series.
yeah, Starbuck from Battlestar
Starbuck,
Galactica.
yeah. I got to speak his language. She has now sold, when she dies, sold her likeness to Disney. So they can use her in future stuff if she died tomorrow or in 30 years and they want to fucking have her on a hologram or whatever.
Like what they did with Carrie.
Yeah, they can. So I
Mark
mean,
Hamill.
at least they're getting paid. Like someone's gonna benefit from that.
No, but they still fucking Tarkined him at the end of
They
was it
went
season
way beyond
2
Tarkin.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
When they do the whole scene and it's a cool scene, but he looks terrible.
he looks better in Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Not
He's not
amazing.
doing action, though,
He still
really.
had
He's
no,
just sitting.
but he's doing more. He's got more FaceTime. But
Yeah.
anyway,
That's a different podcast.
I
We'll
like
get there.
FaceTime.
this is not the podcast you're looking for. Yes,
And
it
we
is.
see a new toy that's trying to get sold. BB-8, I mean Squeaks, who's this little stupid toy robot that never really does anything except for at the very end.
Yes, the little transformer that could.
Oh, I guess he kind of, speaking of Star Wars, does the leg wrap thing on these Sentinel robots.
Oh,
he
that's
does.
right. He takes down the fucking AT-ATs.
Yeah.
So fun fact,
It better be fun.
when I worked at the tattoo shop, my name was Squeak and it was spelled Skweak.
Oh, okay. I didn't have the subtitles. That would.
We had subtitles on subtitles.
Stunt titles.
I'm a
Stunt
little
titles.
hungover, guys.
You
Sorry.
say stunt? Because I heard stub.
I said stub.
Oh, okay.
Like when
I
you
heard
stub your
stunt.
toe, it's just like a bunch of expletives.
Rassum Frassum.
My toe,
Rassum
my
Frassum.
toesy spurties.
It says in parentheses Whitney Rassum Frassums. And there's a robot named Canopy who's immediately murdered by the government.
And once again, it's brutal.
Yeah.
We talked about in the last one, if I remember correctly, like it's more brutal than watching a person sometimes for whatever reason. And I think it's because they can go extra because it's not blood. It's like, oh, it's just
Probably.
oil and antifreeze. You can have it everywhere.
They're dripping green goo, and he's got a hole in his chest, and he like the little girl is crying, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, because that was her family.
Yeah, and that's the most this movie emoted.
And it's all happening because this guy Santos, according to the credits, not according to I don't think any time in the movie, called
No,
in the
I
airstrike.
did get his name
Okay.
from the movie.
Okay.
Because I knew the actor, and he's in a couple early episodes of Heroes.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is.
He's the guy that draws the comic book.
Yeah,
Isaac, maybe?
yeah. He's the one who kicks off basically the whole thing.
Save the
right?
cheerleader, save the world.
He's the one that you were saying should be.
Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal.
Oh, that would have been incredible.
Right?
I would watch a John Bernthal Transformers movie.
Right after she said that, then it was like right towards the end of the movie, and you see one of the guys has an arm
Punisher
patch that's
skull.
a Punisher thing, and I made me laugh.
Yep. Definitely clock that.
Marky Mark arrives with Bumblebee and saves these little kids,
Yelling at them the whole time.
Fuck yeah,
what the
as he
fuck
should.
is your problem, kids?
and that's when the little kid's like, "There's a big reward if I turn you in," and he's like, "Cool, you want to get punched in the face?"
Like, really fucking hard? I can do it. I punch hard.
Which
That's
is
that fucking
No.
dude from Boston.
threatening children does make me laugh.
Yeah,
so.
always.
And he gets a talisman from a robot we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And there's like a throwaway line about how it's the oldest Transformer they've ever seen, older than Optimus Prime. Because I guess they carbon date it. Mm-hmm. Josh Duhamel and
Poor man's Timothy
people.
Oliphant.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Fuck Josh
definitely.
Duhamel.
I die on this hill.
Is he still married to
No one
Fergie?
knows.
Oh, I couldn't care less.
Oh.
Josh Duhamel, I can't stand this guy. There was like a period of time where people tried to make him happen. I just don't get it. Like all I know that he's in is all these Transformers movies. But I know I've seen him in other shit, and I just can't care anytime he shows up. All
he
I
did
think
that-
of is Timothy Oliphant.
He did that Netflix series where he was doing like the old man superhero thing. It was a Netflix. Is that the word Jupiter in it?
yeah, I know what you're talking about. We never watched it.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I know it's not Jupiter Ascending.
It's not
No.
Jupiter Ascending. That's why why I was thinking Jupiter.
There's something about Jupiter, or a character is named Jupiter.
But it does not matter. It's not good, and he looks like shit, all grayed up and wearing old man makeup the whole time.
So he's the leader one?
I'm
Yeah.
just picturing
Oh.
Johnny Knoxville.
So I saw those I mean, he kind of looks like him too. I saw those commercials, and I thought the old man was fucking Dwight from The Office.
Rainn Wilson.
Yeah. But anyway, they murder Bumblebee temporarily, but I guess he's not killed.
So
because he just all of a sudden has magic magnets.
it's a new power?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't recall it.
But he like magnets back together and fucking takes out all these cars, and John Goodman shows up and all these other people. Something.
It's more fighting.
The police car guy shows up, who
Barricade.
Until after the movie I thought was Megatron the whole time.
Oh no.
But it's Barricade. And I hate when he transforms.
His
After this,
rings.
Yeah, he transforms to talk to Megatron, and he's got fucking knuckle rings that go all the way across that are gold that says like punish and enslave.
Because instead of protect and serve, says punish and enslave on the side of his
his
butt tattoo.
His butt tattoo.
I wonder if it's still there when he turns into a big robot.
Yeah, absolutely. If this guy's got fucking rings right there, he's definitely got a butt tattoo.
That did give me a little chuckle, though.
It's actually a donut. He's got a donut tattooed on his butthole. Yo, I am in the mood for like a really juicy IPA, and I don't see any in the fridge.
Yeah, I think I'm all out, but I do know a place we can go get some more.
Let's go to the Arizona Beer House.
Arizona Beer House. They have 34 taps. It's like almost 800 cans and bottles that you can drink in-house or take to go. And it's conveniently located at Broadway and Kolb, 150 South Kolb in Tucson, Arizona.
I'll tell you what, I'd tap that.
Let's head down to Arizona Beer House right now.
Let's go. I'll drive.
First pint's on me, guys.
All right.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Listen to your buddies from Bad Movies, Worst People talking with Steve about Shark Exorcist on his podcast Bucket of Chum in early May. Optimus Prime gets to Cybertron and meets Quintessa, who's a goddess of robots, ?
Something.
We are supposed to know this. It feels. We're not.
No.
But it feels like this is, again, a lost movie or something.
Yeah.
Because I paid attention in the last one enough.
Maybe that's in the hour that got cut out.
Well, and that's the thing is,
It has to be.
A lot of this stuff, like most of the IMDb trivia was like, this is an homage to that cartoon, or this is an homage to that cartoon, or whatever. And this is one of those things. There was like a race of robots that were called the Quintessons.
Okay.
And they did something and created a clone of Optimus Prime who was called Nemesis Prime and whatever. So this whole thing is like taken from other shit.
She smacks him on the face and leaves a red mark, and then he becomes Nemesis Prime.
Yeah. Turns out he's into being dominated.
Who isn't?
Because he then spends the rest of this movie bound and being yelled at by a woman.
Yeah.
Talk about marriage. What?
And electrocuted? Like,
Yeah, that's part of the dommy.
Okay.
I mean, for them, it's the same as like us spitting on each other.
I guess.
That's robot dominatrix spit is just shocking them with electricity.
But it's like, so he gets this basically for Optimus Prime. This happens. We see him again later, bound and being slapped around. And then he shows up in Earth for the last act of the movie.
He's in this movie about as much as the dinosaurs.
And maybe it's because it was how they did the story, because they wanted to have less Optimus Prime because he's been so much, or maybe it's because Peter Cullen is 100.
It could be.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm here for Optimus Prime and Bumblebee for the most part.
pretty much.
And the thing is, we're talking about like exposition scenes and stuff, but this whole movie, it's so exhausting because it's like, it's one long action sequence. Even the exposition is shot like action because it's Michael Bay. Mm-hmm. Like all these scenes of talking, the camera is just constantly moving back and forth and up and down and in and out.
It's like that. It's that Bad Boys spin around thing. I mean, like you just said, Michael Bay. But yeah, it started in Bad Boys, if I remember, just spinning
but in
around
Bad Boys,
them.
there are at least scenes like where they're in the precinct and they're talking and the camera's just looking at them. Like in this, it's like when they meet Anthony Hopkins later and they're going through his library and stuff, the camera is just constantly swinging around.
It was moving so fast you can't see anything.
So let's get to Anthony Hopkins, since none of this actually matters.
Yeah, he shows up here with Cogman,
who
A leprechaun?
I like.
I like him mostly. He has some funny lines. There's some stupid stuff like the "move, bitch, get out of my way."
I didn't
thing.
care for that much, but
Yeah.
there's at one point when Anthony Hopkins is explaining stuff, and you hear this organ just like, and he's like, "Cogsman, will you stop?" And you're like, "Oh, he's been playing that." And he's like, "I was trying to make the moment more dramatic," and then he follows it up with like a, "Shut up."
That was honest chuckle right there.
Yeah.
Every time.
Because you know why? I wasn't expecting it. I was falling asleep literally in this movie, and all of a sudden, genuine laughs. And Anthony Hopkins is doing great at selling me on it.
God,
Yeah.
he
You know,
is.
because he said something, and he's like, "You ruined the moment. If I could find your throat, I'd strangle you."
Also, his size changes every time we see him.
They talk about him being short, but sometimes he's 6 feet
6 foot
tall.
tall.
Sometimes he's
when he's
4
in
feet tall.
when he's in one of the cars, I think it's a fucking advertisement for something. He is barely able to see over the steering
Yeah.
wheel.
Yeah, and
So-
Anthony Hopkins is not a tall man.
They call him well, at least Marky Mark does, a 4-foot maniac. So I think
Yeah.
he is
Psychopath?
supposed to be 4 feet.
I prefer sociopath. Thank you.
Well played. Yeah, so I think he's supposed to be 4 feet the entire time, but someone's like, I forgot.
The
He's
CG 's
basically a
dumb.
butler robot.
Yeah.
He's referred to as a headmaster, which, again, according to the trivia, not anything in this movie, is a type of transformer that is also the head of a larger transformer. So that's why he's small, because he just turns into the head of something bigger.
Okay.
That didn't ever happen in the movie, but apparently there was a toy, of course.
Of course. I didn't own that one. That sounds like big money.
It did.
But
That
that's
sounds like
just-
non-single parent money.
Exactly.
That's introducing SIR Anthony Hopkins, who is degrading himself in this movie.
He is, but
But
he's also
having fun.
yes,
Well,
he's
he's
at
the
least
best part.
here.
Yeah.
Like he's he's doing something because he's bored as shit.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I'm gonna have fun with this.
Yeah. And it's showing and it works.
Yeah, he's putting in some effort. I mean, he's mostly just being flippant, but
And that's the best. There's one scene. I know we're totally skipping forward. I'm so sorry, but this is my
We've
favorite
been all
scene.
over.
He's in the car with Cogsworth or whatever his
Cogsman.
name is, and he just flips off the police car. And he's laughing. He's like,
Fuck the police.
and Derek was typing at that moment. And I was like, oh, that was
Yeah,
funny.
that's good. He's still with us, right?
Yes.
He actually just had a movie that came out where he's playing some guy that rescued a bunch of like orphans
Robots?
from Prague or something in World War II.
Huh.
I don't know.
Terrific in Westworld.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we meet Vivian, who is played by Lauren Haddock, like we said, Meredith Quill. She's a teacher and a polo player and a professor.
professor.
and
I did
a
like the little.
philosopher.
I did like the little snapback between her and the guy because she in polo like makes an extra move instead of passing, and he's like, "Well, I was open. There's a reason you're always open. There's a reason you're always single. What's that? Huh?
What?
Nothing.
It was
my
a good
ass.
little quip, you
It
know.
was.
But yeah, we're just showing that she's this beautiful, intelligent woman that's single forever.
And I looked at Derek.
Like that's
and
a fucking problem.
I was $100. They hook up at the end.
Yeah, and then my response was $1,000. She's not in the next movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that fucking bet. I don't have $1,000 to give you.
But I did. So basically, we're showing that she knows about the Arthurian myths and stuff, but she's like, it's all horse shit. It is a really cool fucking painting that she's showing them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the coolest pieces of set design in this
I
whole
prefer the
movie.
paintings when we get to Anthony Hopkins' house, but let me know when we get there.
Yeah, I just like the dragons and shit. It looks fucking cool.
Everything. Yeah, that museum looked dope.
And then we have Marky Mark hanging out in a junkyard with all the robots because they can blend in with junk, so the government can't find them with satellites or something.
Something.
Sure.
But they're on reservation land.
Yeah, and we have Gil Birmingham,
Yes, we
who
do.
was in. I mean, he's been in Yellowstone. He's been in a ton of shit. What he was in? No, he wasn't in something else we did. He's in that shit you made me watch.
Yeah.
Twilight stuff.
Yeah.
He's the one in the wheelchair.
Ew.
Yeah, but he's cool.
I like the actor.
He's not in the credits.
I was gonna say, well, he's not.
No.
because he's about to be out of this movie.
Yeah.
he's get like 2 lines.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets 2 scenes.
Yeah,
2
lines.
one line per scene.
I don't like when you call me chief.
I don't want him to talk more than that. That's it.
That's Marky Mark's request.
I think he did enough.
Apparently,
We got it.
Grimlock is Marky Mark's dog now. Mm-hmm. The T-Rex.
Yeah.
Because he's like eating cars, and Marky Mark's like, spit it out, spit it out.
And there
he's,
are
like,
these
rolling
little
over and shit.
baby dinosaur.
Yeah, there's like a baby
Transformers.
pterodactyl and a baby
You
triceratops.
spit your first fire. I'm so proud of you.
And when he calls his daughter, I think we're about to get there right now.
Yeah.
He calls his daughter and he has Hound scramble it, bounce it, yada yada. You get 20 seconds, but he also can't speak because they'll be able to voice recognition track him. So he just listens to his daughter,
Yep.
and then it hangs up and he feels all bad. Hound says, "Hey, you're a good dad, Cade. Remember that. My dad never called me, so now I had to Google." How do Transformers reproduce?
Exactly. Do they hatch eggs?
No, it's what's it
Do
called?
they go, and there's
It's
life.
the asexual mitosis.
So they just
Okay.
like split off.
Yeah, they just generate a bunch of energy and make a little extra part of them, and then that comes
So
to
like a
life.
gizmo.
Yeah, kind of.
Mogwai.
Yeah,
Very
you put water on them, and little baby transformers shoot out of their back.
Never feed a transformer after midnight.
But apparently, and this is IMDb trivia because I don't remember any of this. Was it Starscream? Someone who's a jet in one of the other
Starscream.
movies.
You're
Starscream.
making names up again.
He
Hey, I actually got the names on this, so
Yeah, you do.
he mentioned something about like, well, my dad never turned into anything or something like that in
Yeah.
one of the other movies. So they have dads.
I'm probably on a watch list now for looking up Transformer reproductions. Like, we got to nail this guy.
Where's that porn?
This is not going to go well.
In this scene, we do get our one scene of Steve Buscemi as a robot.
Yeah.
Day
Also
trader.
with a weird, gross beard like John Goodman's character.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the robot beard.
I don't mind it on Goodman.
Yeah.
I don't
this
know
one's
why.
like this one's just tangly junk hanging down from his face. He's day trader, yeah. He
Yeah.
collects junk and he's got a big pile of junk on his back.
It's got a voice box for B.
Yeah, and it's apparently a Siri voice box, which is hilarious.
But we already had his voice box.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't care.
Just let him talk in quotes. I like it.
I prefer it because that's how we live our lives as human beings. We
I mean, in
fucking
this
speak
room,
in quotes.
definitely,
Like,
this is how we
Jesus.
live.
Oh, Steve Buscemi does get a nice racist line.
What's he say?
He's talking to Drift, who's saying something to him, and he says, "I barely understand what's coming out of your mouth, Drift."
Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, can't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Ain't no one understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Did he have the whole samurai get up last time? I
Yes.
can't remember. He had the
Yes.
helmet.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
the helmet and like the.
I thought it just looked a little
cloak or
extra this
whatever.
time.
It might have been. They
and-
change every movie.
Yeah.
I think Hound looks just like exactly the same. John Goodman's character. but-
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to spend money on a new model for that.
I love that Izzy's like, are you fat?
No, I just got a lot of gear. Somebody put 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag.
He says shit, doesn't he?
He does. They are pushing the limits. Like, there's a lot
It's
of
PG-13. You can get shits.
Okay.
there's a lot of shits in this movie, and
There's
I
an
couldn't
F
give
'em.
one of them.
Is there a fuck?
An Ephraim.
Oh, he does say
Oh,
F.
F them. You get an F them.
And then the little beep boop robot Squeaks does say "Brap you"
Yeah.
at the end of the movie. So that's a thing. And now like horns are growing out of the earth
Yeah.
all around the world.
That's
In
good.
Weird
and it
places.
seems like a jumble, but basically they end up figuring out that like
It's
Pan-
it's
Pangea.
from Pangea, and they're the horns that make. Spoiler alert: Earth is a transformer called Unicron, who apparently is Galactus for Transformers. He eats planets.
This, okay.
Yeah.
I do think this is in the next movie, but how does he come out of the Earth?
I imagine if he comes out of the Earth gets destroyed, right? It's like the Eternals.
I'm pretty sure that the Unicron is voiced by, you wouldn't know him. He's in Fear the Walking Dead.
No,
He's the guy that they're going to replace Jonathan Majors with, pretty sure, for Kang.
I think Orson Welles voiced Unicron in the Transformers animated movie.
Ooh,
Fuck
that's
is
dope.
Unicron? Like the planet?
The planet
person?
robot.
Yeah.
That was a real thing?
I mean, they're
the
all
show?
real things.
Yeah.
I thought
I mean,
they
none of
made
them
I
are
don't
shit
real
up.
things.
I don't think
but-
they make up anything. They have. I will give this movie credit because, like, you go back and watch a lot of those X-Men movies, and they're just making up people
Yeah.
that they don't need to. It's like you have.
There are 8,000 X-Men.
You have a bevy of fucking resources. So I will give these guys credits for just like, hey, we have access to the entire toy line, dude.
They probably read every magazine and watched every cartoon.
They probably wanted to sell more toys.
Someone did. Michael Bay did not.
I think it's the who owns this, Mattel maybe.
Hasbro.
Hasbro is like, dude, we were to sell these toys. We're gonna re-release them.
Yeah.
So here's who you can have in your movie
Okay.
because I want to sell them toys.
Yeah.
So the government, for some reason, enlists the help of Megatron to hunt down the Autobots.
Why?
Sometimes
I don't
you gotta
know.
pair up with the devil to get
Because
what you
he
want.
But why?
says-
Like, it would make sense if Optimus or Nemesis Prime had already arrived and they knew he was
So
bad.
I'm pretty sure that he convinced them that these horns are like a sign of the apocalypse, like it's doom, and I can stop it, but I need the wand right?
Yeah, I
The
need the
staff.
staff.
The staff. Oh no, I need the token that fucking Cade Yeager has.
Oh,
because
yeah.
now it's strapped onto his arm.
Yeah,
It's
it
in love
followed
with
him
him.
home.
Oh, we missed the fight where they hit the tracker on B. I only want to bring it up because these drones they have throughout the movie look like TIE bombers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Like they Star Wars TIE bombers to a fucking T. And then another Star Wars reference is made later. Now I want to watch Star Wars.
Yeah,
When
at
don't
some
you?
point, Cogs,
Never.
whatever
Never
the
don't.
fuck his name is,
Cogsman.
Cogman is referred to as C-3PO,
Uh-huh.
which I mean,
That's the reference.
He
Yeah,
is.
he's like this knockoff C-3PO.
he's a butler robot that's gold.
He's a protocol droid.
Yeah.
And it can be funny.
But they get Megatron a team, and he's like listing off people he wants that they have in storage, and like there's this whole scene where we see all these robots and they show how crazy they are and all this stuff. And literally, I mean, at least according to the trivia, it's less than 3 minutes of screen time for the entire team, and they're all dead between 40 and 50 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And this is already 40 minutes in the movie, so they get like they're around like 5 minutes. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's Mohawk, who's a little crazy dude. And they pull him out, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you right now."
I'm gonna kill you later, man. I'm
It's
gonna
pretty
kill
funny.
you for sure.
Dreadbot.
Say hello to your wife for me.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's like, I know where you live, Enrique. Say hi away from me. Gives him a middle finger.
Nitro Zeus, who's played by John DiMaggio. Berserker.
Which I
Which
always
they say no to Berserker.
No Berserker, because they unhook his like mouth guard thing, and he's like, "I'll suck out your brains." And they're like, "Yeah, we got limits, man."
No.
And then Onslaught. I
mean-
think Onslaught makes it the longest.
Yeah, he's there till the end. Optimus fucks up all 5 of his.
Oh, okay, so he's still there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, all that for 3 minutes of like they get 10 minutes to introduce them, and then they're in the movie for 3 minutes.
Telling you, man,
basically.
you want to sell some toys. You want to hit some nostalgia because I guarantee you, there's people watching like I fucking had that.
Yeah, exactly. I want a little Mohawk bot.
Oh,
Some
dude, I
little
remember
stupid kid.
Onslaught.
Yeah, these are for the little shitty kids who are going with their dads who had the toys, and their dad's like, "Yeah, I'll get you an Onslaught. Onslaught was fucking cool, man. Fucking love Onslaught." We'll get Onslaught. We'll put them together. We'll drink some PBRs. Wait, like you can't have a PBR.
Dad, what's a PBR?
Oh, you gonna put hair in your chest? Drink
Hey,
it.
we'll get you a PBR
Dad, why don't I
coffee.
have hair on my chest?
We'll get you a PBR coffee. You're young. It's fine.
Those actually aren't that bad.
Yeah, they're
Darren
all
liked
right.
them.
They're pretty sweet, but they're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, the government attacks the junkyard. Hound and Megatron have a little bit of a fight. I don't know. The Dinobots show up again to attack this convoy.
Yeah, they like come out from underground.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand.
And Marky Mark and the Bleep Bloop bunch are setting up bombs.
Yeah,
Right.
the town is already rigged.
We're just gonna brush over that. It's fine.
Nope. I like it.
Yeah, they have bombs in this town. Which I mean, there are people in this town. That's kind of fucked up. But
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
There was a guy sweeping in a.
Oh, did you see
movie
people?
theater?
Because I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Okay.
dude.
There's
There's a
like 4
dude
people.
sitting on like a bench watching all this stuff go down. Like just some old guy. Like, huh? It kind of reminded me of.
The old man drinking a beer on the.
Was it Cherry 2000? Was that the one where the old guys are just drinking beer, watching these people roll up to do shit?
Well, there's also in the what is it, Wizard?
Oh, that's
where
what it is,
The 2
Wizard.
cars are having a demolition derby in the street. And
That's what
there's-
I'm thinking
There's
of.
an old dude just sitting there like living that good life.
And Isabella runs out to fight Megatron because he's talking shit to Squeaks, which fucks up the whole plan. Like, what are you gonna do, little 14-year-old kid?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this little girl played Dora the Explorer in a live-action movie that apparently came out.
Oh, really?
And I was like, Dora the Explorer would probably try to fight a robot.
Her character actually reminds me a lot of the Two for Flinching.
Oh, Atlantis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could see that. Like this little
Stargate
14-year-old
Atlantis?
No, Atlantis, the Disney movie.
with
I
Michael
never
J.
saw it.
Fax. The cartoon.
It's really
Fax,
good
fuck.
steampunk.
Oh, I
It's-
know what movie you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
I never
cartoon,
saw it.
the
But
We're watching
Shame.
it after this.
that's too
But yeah,
bad.
she's like this spunky 14-year-old girl, and he's like, "You can't stay here. You gotta leave." And then she's like, "Fine, I'm leaving tomorrow." And then he's like, "Wait," and quizzes her if this is were to happen on this and this and this. And then she's like, "Well, actually,
Transformers don't have a slant 6.
That's from an ancient car. The 60s is an ancient. Me, me, me.
so that's where he's like, okay, I
She's
like
an
you, you
idiot,
can
though.
stay."
I mean, like, there's one thing about being spunky, then there's another thing walking up to Megatron being like, you think I'm scared of you, puto? I mean, she is cursing this
She
dude
has nothing
out.
left. She has her family's dead.
Yeah, they killed her family, which was the convoy, or what was it called?
Convoy.
Coverall.
Canopy.
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 I'm less confused about the names in this one.
I don't know how they stick with me and like normal people's names like Allie.
Dude, that last movie was killing me. I was like, Garbletron? Who the fuck? Which was Megatron, right?
Yeah.
Gaveltron, whatever's
Yeah, I think it was Gavel.
something.
It was Ganville.
Gandalftron. But yeah, there's so much happening. Like there's so much stuff happening, and none of it matters because I mean, basically, Marky Mark gets the talisman attached to him, and it protects him from getting shot. It's this little tiny piece of metal, but it slides to the right spot whenever you need it. I guess.
Oh boy, it slides to the right
Yes,
spot.
it
Yeah,
does.
that's weird.
Ooh.
Is
Later,
it gripping?
she's hoping to get fucked by a talisman dick,
I
right?
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Who is it?
We'll get to that.
It's an extension.
It's gonna add some girth.
It'll hit the spot.
I got girth for days.
But Cogman shows up, takes Marky Mark, tells him like, leave your friends. They're safer without you, and then all of his friends are out of this movie till the end.
The conversation he's having with Anthony Hopkins, like, sir, he got taken. He's like, did he die? He's like, I don't know. He was here, now he's gone. He's like, he won't come with me. If you rip off a human's arm, they'll do pretty much whatever you want, though.
Yes.
Like he's
It's when they're going up the elevator and the drone knocks him out the glass, and he's just like, I don't know. He fell 10 stories. Is he dead?
Yes. He will be.
he's the life of this movie.
So Turturro is back in this movie for 2 seconds to tell Anthony Hopkins he found the book of Cybertron or something, and it's just in a library.
But he won't tell him what it is until you induct me into your secret
It's not the weirdest thing that Derek
Because-
said on this podcast, but it might be the stupidest thing you've said in this podcast.
He's like, I know a lot of janitors, and a janitor found it for me. So he's got a secret network of janitors across the country.
He's the fucking penguin, man. One man's trash is somebody else's treasure.
So the whole thing here is now Cybertron is coming to Earth because Earth is Unicron, and only one. There can be only one, I guess.
There can
One
be
will
only-
suck the life out of the other.
By the way, I just got a thought in my head. I would love to see John Turturro with like fat makeup on as the penguin. That would be excellent. Go on. Nobody fucks with the penguin. I'll put that batarang up your ass. Pull the trigger until it goes click.
Still got John Goodman there. 8-year-olds, dude. Vivian gets kidnapped by Hot Rod, which I guess Whitney said, because this is when I got up and left the room for a minute. Whitney said that Anthony Hopkins put something on her car, but I think her car was always
Yeah,
Her car's always a transformer.
He put an envelope in there.
to like
And-
Yeah.
let him know or something.
and said, "You know what to do, old friend.
Yes,
the
yeah.
time is nigh," or something.
yeah, so it turns from this beat up old English car into
I
a
like
Lamborghini.
it, dude.
I love
I don't.
that
I
car.
don't know what it is. I don't know British, like Alfa Romero, maybe. I like the old classic look of it, but then it goes right into
Yeah, it has to
Lambo.
turn into a sexy, sleek new car.
No, bring back that classic bitch.
They ain't getting paid enough. Classics don't make money. It's costed.
Yeah, the people watching this movie are going to buy a Lamborghini, not an Alfa Romeo or
Yeah.
Romeo.
Whatever.
It was an Aston Martin. Okay.
Was it an Aston Martin?
I don't know.
Charlie, please sit down. Je m'appelle. What is he? What does it say? Je m'appelle Harad.
I don't understand you.
Harad. Hot rock. Harad. Ugh.
Apparently, Michael Bay thought about giving him the French accent because he thought it'd be real funny. The actor is a French actor.
Okay.
He was also in an X-Men movie. I can't remember what his name was, but
I did like the line though, where he's like, he's got a French accent. Well, he's not French. He just likes it. He's like, I don't like it. I just cannot get rid of it.
and obviously he's exaggerating his own accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause French people don't actually talk like this.
No, this is how we hear French people talk.
Yes.
That's my wannabe Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? It's a French snooty French waiter.
It's not far off from that though.
So they all get together. It's Marky Mark, Vivian, and Anthony Hopkins in a robot retirement home is how it's referred to.
Yeah.
A transformer retirement home. Sorry, they don't call them robots, I don't think, ever.
Didn't he say like robot dementia?
Yes.
Or
he
did he say transformer
No, he
dementia?
said
maybe he
robot
said,
dementia.
okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like this old, not a howitzer, but
No, it'd be like original fucking World War I tank.
yes.
Yeah.
Like those, I don't know, you just see it like it's just two giant treads.
Yeah, and it's like jarring around in the background. Its hat's falling off and stuff, and no one's reacting to it. So funny.
Egad.
Marky Mark does say something to Vivian about her being you're an overeducated ivory tower princess in a stripper dress, bro.
And she's like, only in fucking America is an education an insult.
And then she's like, if you don't like my dress, I can take it off. And he's just like,
Okay.
yeah.
I know. I was like, I was for a moment thought they're gonna be like, oh no, it's not what I meant. Like have him like befuddled a little bit. It's like, yeah,
do that.
fucking do it. Let's see the nerves.
Her aunts and mother though are just.
Oh, I can't wait to get there. That is fucking. That's another part that actually had me laughing.
But that does make Cogman attack Marky Mark though, and he's like, I can tear his throat out right now, son.
Right now, I would love to. This is the part I was talking about earlier, where Anthony Hopkins is going through the Witwickians, like Witwicken.
Dude, it is so they are flashing so many pictures of so many famous people, and he's just listing off every person.
It's every fucking name that's ever been uttered in history or
Is it-
mythology. But
is it supposed to make you confused, like so much information overload, because that's how Marky Mark is feeling?
that would
Well,
actually,
that's just how he's feeling in general, though.
that's you doing more work than Michael Bay would.
Okay.
What I do like though is when it's showing like very famous paintings of like Washington crossing the Delaware, and there's like a transformer behind him pointing. I'm like, I want that. And it's like World War II with fucking Nazis and Transformers. I want that. I would buy a lot of these. Just
This is the
fucking
real art.
This is why I got to get Gabe to draw in robots into famous historical paintings.
There you go.
And then, like, through all these famous people, we do get a picture of Sam Witwicky. I'm pretty sure this is...
No, it was his college ID picture from the second movie.
It
Oh,
looks
was
like
it?
a
Okay.
mugshot.
That's exactly
he
what I was
said.
about to say. I was like, was that... Did Michael Bay... Like, because he was asked, or he was... They thought about bringing him back, and then, I don't know if he declined or they just changed their minds or whatever. I was like, did he turn them down? And fucking Michael Bay's like, yeah, well, use your fucking mugshot. How
We
about
already
that?
paid for this picture. I wondered too, because like, does he get paid for having his picture in? But as your wife pointed out, it's from the second one. It's theirs.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know if that's how it works with pictures, but there was the whole thing with
Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover. I almost said Christian Slater. I do that all the time. It's another fucking Gerard Butler.
I gotcha.
I
Crispin
do not
Glover.
agree with him on that one.
Crispin Glover, just the names, not the actors.
Okay.
Like, but Crispin Glover sued Universal for Back to the Future 2 because he wasn't in that.
Yeah.
They had an actor act like him, and they used his likeness and images of him, so he sued them, and now that's a thing. If they do that, they have to pay you.
Right.
But I don't know if that counts for a picture that was already in your
I
previous
was going to say,
movie.
because they could use old footage. They could have put him, like if they spliced it in and make it just, reuse footage for the next movie, they don't have to pay him again. You already have that footage.
Yeah.
So I think it's once they alter it and have someone pretend to be his likeness.
Okay.
This is pre-tarking.
Shia LaBeouf doesn't need to be getting paid. It's fine.
No.
Why don't you like him? He's changed his world around.
He's a little honey boy.
Well, maybe he's better now. I don't know. But he was, at this point, that's why I thought it was his mugshot. Because at this point, he was fucking Ezra Millering all over the place. So,
Oh,
had
no, I don't
some
think he
mental
ever went
issues.
that bad.
not that bad.
Yeah.
No, he's not nearly as bad as that. Now he's like this whole super supportive. Like, I mean, he did his biography movie.
So, like, I don't hate the guy by any means. I just don't really know what he's in that I care about much.
That Honey
like,
Boy
I think,
movie or whatever it's called was supposed to be pretty good, but I never saw it.
yeah, I don't know what I love about him, if I do.
My first introduction to him was Even Stevens, and I fell the fuck in love with him.
Okay.
Well, I think that's
That
that's
didn't-
the era, the Disney era. That and Holes and stuff
Yeah.
is like what fucked him up, right? Because
Yeah.
he was like treated like
was-
shit. Like
his
every-
dad fucked
Yeah.
him up.
Well, that's what I mean. That era though, he was treated
Yeah.
like shit and like
I
abused.
mean, what
and-
Disney star wasn't treated like shit?
But sadly,
Yeah.
he'll probably never be in this franchise again.
No.
Sadly for Whitney, not for Derek.
No, and that reminds me. You were talking about rebooting. I think that's kind of what Rise of the Beast was, because that went back to the '90s and it has a whole different cast. So I'm wondering if the next one, whenever that is, will just continue from there.
Oh, that's right. It
I
is
don't
in
know.
the
They're,
90s.
they're all over the place. So
Yeah.
Oh, so they took another thing from the Avengers?
yeah.
But the reason I say you have to reboot it, as we are going to either get to or already have, there are so many fucking inaccuracies between movies.
Yeah.
So we're at this. Okay, we're actually here. He's showing off pictures and stuff, and there's Bumblebee in World War II. He's like,
Yeah.
that looks a lot like B.
They
and he's
actually,
like, oh
like-
yeah, he was with the Devil's Brigade, which is a real fucking brigade that has a couple movies about him. It's awesome.
They did a blip about it. They
Are
have a
they the Inglourious
flashback of it.
Bastards?
It's the Inglourious Bastards is actually loosely based on a Jewish spy network.
Oh, okay.
Like they were the bastards, but they weren't nearly as badasses. Like they did badass stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's not as fantastical as a better term.
Oh, so they didn't shoot Hitler.
It turns out they did not. That he was killed by a watch.
Yes, this
A
little
clock.
crazy watch here that goes and it's like strapped down like fucking Hannibal Lecter.
That's why
Oh
they said
no, I did not see that coming.
Didn't they say that he committed suicide?
Yeah, that's the story.
But it was actually this watch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hinkiness involved with his body and the Russians having it, not releasing it for a while. Hitler used a lot of body doubles. It's a conspiracy I like to sink my teeth into every now and then that Hitler did not kill himself.
It's like, so he
He
did
might
the
be
Nick
living
Fury
in
thing?
Brazil with all the other Nazis.
Argentina, dude.
Argentina.
Well, my boss said that there were still like descendants, and then they all vowed to not procreate.
Oh yeah, no, in his entire
Bloodline is
offspring.
gone.
Yeah, the Jersey Hitlers. I believe they were from New Jersey.
Honey,
not
invite
from,
over the Jersey Hitlers. Meow.
But yeah, they all basically
They sterilized
vowed
themselves.
To, never have children and to end
Yeah.
the bloodline, which is cool. Good for them.
Yeah. Golf clap.
Golf clap.
I got one here.
Just like a
No,
beatnik.
that's
That was like a golf beatnik snap.
Use that hand to hit that hand. There you go.
We're learning today. E for educational. Stamp it.
Yay!
But yeah, so B is introduced fighting Nazis and what have you. And Derek had said that in Bumblebee the movie,
Yeah,
the trivia you read, I know you didn't watch
No,
it.
yeah.
He lands on Earth in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. But
Maybe
this
he
whole
left and came back.
every one of these movies has no continuity from what I gather. Like the robots kind of do in some ways, but like the humans, what's going on in the world is just like
the lore of their planet, because at times they were here prehistoric.
Yeah.
And then they were introduced later. It's very all over the place. And I don't think anybody watching cares. Like if you're a fan, you're just happy to see your toy on
I
screen.
guarantee you some guy's got an encyclopedia out there though that makes these movies make sense.
If you
Oh,
are
he's
that
doing the
person-
work I do with the prequels and Star Wars.
Exactly.
If you are that person, please write us at badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com.
Tell us how wrong we've been this whole time.
Actually, you guys. But she's talking about how magic doesn't exist, and Marky Mark spits out a real quote from Arthur C. Clarke. I'd paraphrase a little bit. It's something along the lines of like, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic to like
if it's
primitive.
not understood.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you knowing things.
And I got
look, count
fucking
up.
zero
Zero.
debt, girly.
Zero
No
student
fucking
loans.
student loans.
Yeah, so fuck you.
I'm not allowed in Boston College anymore. I grabbed too many women's asses.
Let me belittle you some more. Maybe we can make out by the end of this movie.
All right, take that stripper dress off for me.
Oh, this is when we have the music scene, which is funny. They do make fun of Marky Mark because he hasn't gotten laid in, quote, a while.
But what's a while?
A year, a day, a month.
A while.
Just a while. Don't fucking worry about it.
I'm saving myself. For what? Old age?
Yeah, she's pretty quippy. I like her.
Yeah. But it does make like is he supposed to be a virgin? Like obviously not, because
No,
they're
he's
asking it's
just
been a while, but
chaste.
he's chaste. I guess that just means you're not philandering, like you're in wedlock. You've
Yeah.
had sex in wedlock only. You only have sex to
Correct.
procreate.
Well, he's been busy with Transformers for
Which
the
is
last
why my
5
grandfather
years.
had 47 kids.
He hasn't had sex since his wife died.
Yeah.
That
Not
does
with-
get brought up.
Not with a human. You definitely had him
Oh.
turn one of these Transformers
To a
transform
blowjob.
into pocket pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, those poor little tiny Dinobots.
Oh.
But we find out that Vivian is Merlin's descendant, so she can touch the stuff and make it glow.
Yeah, her dad was the Order of Wiccan as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the book that she's looking at that has her picture says Witwicken on the front. I didn't catch him talking about it because he's just rambling, Anthony Hopkins. But I saw that and I was like, that's stupid.
It's an exposition dump, but not the one we needed.
Yeah. And
But also, this is where the question comes up.
this is where my
Like,
question is Sam Witwicky dead? Because he said you are the last living Witwiccan, and Witwicky is her cousin.
But I swear, in the last
Okay,
movie,
so-
they mentioned that they're like, he stopped doing this stuff and went to college.
I
He
feel like
Paul Walkered him.
I feel like Witwicky is the name, Witwicken is the order, and he might be Witwicky, but he never swore into the order. Is how I'm taking it.
Well, neither did she.
Well, neither did she.
She's about to. I guess
Not
I
really.
guess not.
No.
She's just a genetic
Well,
descendant.
there goes that theory.
Who knows?
Who cares?
Hey, you know what? Surprise! Something else that doesn't make sense.
I mean, it might make sense if he's dead.
I think
yeah.
he killed him.
So then they get attacked there.
Now you can't come back to my fucking movie.
Exactly.
They get attacked there, and there's some kind of slow motion bubble gun that one of these guys has.
Yeah, he goes, time stop.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Get
this
away!
is
I
a
will
Mega
stop
Man
the
power.
time.
This is a Mega Man power. This isn't a Transformer power that I know of.
Yeah, and you know what? Forget about it for almost the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they show it here so that they can use it at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost guarantee you that like they got to the end and they're like, oh, how are we going to stop him from falling? And someone was like, time stop gun. And they're like, well, we got to introduce that earlier. Well, don't worry. It's all CG. We can go back and add it.
I mean, these guys, it's a time stop gun, but it also just launches these dudes in the air. When time does come back, you're going to be hurting.
Yeah.
And you're going to be blood squirting.
Oh, it does get used. Oh, it's still during the last battle, though, because it gets used against Megatron.
But that's it. That's the same like fight scene.
Who has it?
The French guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hot Rod.
okay.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod.
It's actually, now that I say it like that, she's kind of hearing Klingon, isn't she? Yeah. Because he's trying to say hot rod, and she's like,
Did you just challenge me to a duel to the death? Sounds like you did.
No, that's pot roast. That's how they say pot roast.
Ooh, delicious.
When we do see Megatron, he does have the red paint on his face also. Mm-hmm. So
somehow, because
that
Quintessa,
lady smacked him in the face too.
But Quintessa's been on Cybertron, which is not here, and Megatron hasn't left Earth.
I have a little theory about it, but easily shot down, I'm sure. He went up to go fight her because he's Megatron. He doesn't share power.
Right.
And she was like, bitch slap, you're mine
But
now.
how did he get there and get back before Optimus Prime even got there?
This planet's moving.
Right, but Optimus Prime, at the beginning of this movie, Optimus Prime is still floating in space, coldly getting there. How did Megatron get there, get this, and get back? Because
I think it's going to be here in 3 days, so he could just boop right up there.
But he had the red at the
He
beginning
had it
of
on
the
his
movie.
face the whole time.
Did he?
Yeah.
I missed it at the beginning.
That's why I was confused at the beginning, because the one barricade that I thought was Megatron, and I was like, he's talking to some mystery robot who's never introduced, but it was Megatron, and I didn't recognize him, partially because I don't care, and also because the red on the face, and he has like a blowtorch that he didn't have before.
And
but
he is just using that blowtorch for
Yes.
no good reason, just like mad. Use it to accentuate sentences. Well, we need to get enough beer for the party.
Wouldn't you if you had a blowtorch? Just like, fuck that.
How expensive is fuel?
I don't know.
more rum.
I mean, I guess it runs on his own bodily fluid, so it's the equivalent of me farting. And if I could fart flamethrowers, I'd never fucking stop.
And just like their ammunition, like,
Yeah.
where do they get it from?
Well, except John Goodman has a fucking ammo belt, and he loads a gun. The first time I think I've ever seen that. So he has like a little breech joint, I don't know, triple barrel shotgun, and we see him put physical ammunition in and close it and then start shooting. Other than that, like
Maybe he just does that for looks.
he
'Cause
might
he's
'cause
like military bot.
Those are his babies.
and he smokes bullet cigars.
Yes.
Those are his babies. Oh God,
He's shooting
He's
baby
shooting
juice.
semen.
He's shooting blanks.
Changes
Sorry.
everything. I don't think they're blanks, kid. I'm finishing my ammo.
There's another big car chase here. Basically, Vivian and Marky Mark go back to her house with her mom and her
Whorehouse?
aunts.
Oh my
Sounds
God,
like
the
it.
Ants.
And the mom and the aunts were trying to get like you should find a man or a woman. We don't care, whatever.
What's
I don't know why they're from
BBW
Jersey.
mean?
We just want to hear you. We just want to listen to you have sex. That's all.
Yeah, they go upstairs like because they see him and they're like, yeah, he's rock hard. And I'm like, he might be. I don't know.
No, that's just his talisman, dude.
Yeah, they go up to her dad's office or study.
Yeah.
He's got the dumbest idea. Because, well, and earlier someone's like, we have to get rid of this stuff. What do you want to keep? And she's like, get rid of all of it. Because this room is the reason her dad wasn't around much growing up.
Yeah.
You know, he was just obsessed with this. But anyway, Marky Mark is like, we're looking for a fucking, like, a key or a map or something.
What if it's in this ass?
It could be in the fucking ass of this horse. Dudes put shit up asses all the time. Slams it down. You are making a mess of this room that you're never going to find what you're looking for.
But
But
they
it
are
does lead to the
crushing
joke.
Everything, yeah.
Because now it sounds like they're fucking.
I mean,
If you're one of
that's
these
some-
ladies downstairs, you know,
Yeah, her
one
New-
of these
her British
plastic
New
New
Jersey.
Englanders.
I
I'm
wanna
sorry,
peek.
old England.
But yeah, they're fucking smashing shit around, and her mom and aunts are like, "Ooh, they're fucking
Careful,
I'm like,
you can't grab it like that. Oh, it wouldn't fit in there. Like there are all kinds of little innuendos, and I do like it.
But I just want to know these proper English women, what kind of sex are they having?
Downton Abbey, baby.
Missionary.
I don't know anything about Downton
Neither do
Abbey.
Missionary.
I
Eye
guess
to
it's-
eye.
What's that show you were watching with all the British people
Bridgerton.
fucking? Yeah, Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Maybe they're having that kind of sex.
What kind of sex do they have?
Ooh, a lot.
That's not a kind. That's
So
an
the
amount.
first season, there's a lot of very naughty sex, and then when the second
Naughty.
naughty,
Very
and then when the
naughty.
second one came out, it wasn't nearly as much, and people.
All right,
hated
guys,
it.
we hooked him in with the sex stuff. Now let's get real serious and write some dramatic things.
Exactly.
They hate it.
Yeah, they hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
Put the dick back in there. We want to see more boobies.
So at the same time, this is when Anthony Hopkins and Cogsman are doing their
Drive
car
through.
chase. And these British police cars that are chasing them are just flipping.
Yeah, they're turning right turns into walls.
If I didn't know this was Bay, you do now. I mean, even besides the horses blowing up and flipping, this car chase is just like it's exploding fruit stands all
It
over
is.
again. Like somebody hit a car and just now this car that hit is up in the air doing fucking 360 flips.
Yeah.
How?
If that's how car crashes happen, every car crash would end in a fatality.
Yes.
Spoiler
I mean, this
alert.
is a high-speed chase, but those other cars aren't going fast.
No.
It doesn't happen like that. I was just in a car accident. I got sandwiched.
That was a car accident,
You
folks.
would have been flung into the air like a fucking
I mean, my body
slinky. Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's not a Michael Bay accident.
A backcident.
Oh, there is a stupid joke in there with, I think it's this, I don't know, one of the chases where Cogsman is doing, move, bitch, get out of my way.
Get out of my way. Move,
It's
bitch.
it's not funny.
It's not. This is the Cogsman I don't like.
But this is Sir Anthony Hopkins is laughing and eating this up, and this is where he flips off a cop, and he's just like,
Yeah, he's like, get the fuck out of the way, yelling at people and
oh,
stuff.
he looks like he is absolutely enjoying this little
Which is
jaunt.
great because
He's probably really in a Lambo. I mean, somebody's driving.
I was about to say he's doing really good acting because he's sitting in a big green room with a Lambo door next to him, yelling at nothing.
Oh, you think he's not in? You think he's not driving?
No, I don't think he's in. Maybe.
If it is, that makes
You know
sense
what?
why he's having fun.
That might be in his contract. He's like,
Yeah.
obviously I won't be in the chase scenes. I'm Sir Anthony Hopkins, but you're gonna drive me around in a Lambo.
Yeah. We getting those reaction shots.
I can't do a Hopkins. It's like I can't do it in a green screen. All right, you got to get the real reactions.
Can't do it in the green screen.
I can't eat fava beans and a
We'll each of them
Chianti.
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 I hate it. But yeah, so he gets to the library. He's yelling at John Turturro on the phone. John Turturro won't tell him where the book is.
Shut up!
But yeah, these people start shushing him in the library. And he's like, "You shut up!"
Shut up. Shh yourself. Shh yourself.
God, honestly, people,
It was a.
tell me where it's at.
Yeah, it was a
I
legitimate laugh.
thought I would pay money to be shushed by him.
Yes.
I had to write down that it was a legitimate laugh though, because I told her I was like, that was a legitimate laugh, but at this point I'm exhausted and I didn't laugh out loud. But I
here?
laughed inside
here,
really
though?
hard.
Huh?
I just couldn't put out the effort. I was like,
Ha ha ha.
but yeah, so
You shut up.
that he finds the book, and the book's what tells him it's Pangea, and that's what the weird metal blob was on the table earlier.
And that's how Stonehenge happened. Is
Yeah, it's the center of the thing. Whatever.
It's
It's where
what's
you
it?
put the hole.
Homicron? Is that his name? It's the
Unicron?
Unicron. It's his dick.
yes,
Oh, okay.
Stonehenge is his rock hard cock.
or butthole, because
Oh my!
it needs to get penetrated.
You know what? She's onto it.
They do.
That's the
They do
butthole.
bring a giant alien butt plug later.
Yep.
So
Well, it's only
oh,
giant
yeah.
by our standards. That's a starter butt plug in fucking Homicron speak.
So yeah, this.
But
is
we do get a
where-
weird, creepy line here. Flashback to Vivian talking to her dad as a child.
Oh my god!
And he's like, only Merlin can wield the staff.
And little girls.
I was like, have a seat.
Have a fucking seat, Dad.
I know you're supposed to be playing her dad. You're gonna have to play her dad a little bit better than that.
Yeah, you're not her weird stepdad. You're her dad. Calm
Yes.
down.
This is blood.
Megatron joins in the car chase at some point. There's a bunch of destruction. I don't know. They end up at a submarine.
Yeah, that's
Museum.
they found out that the
Oh, because she
submarine
found
is,
it in the pop-up book.
yeah,
Yeah.
the submarine is the key to get to the staff.
It's like National Treasure, but no one ever stops to talk.
Nicolas Cage would improve a lot of this. Nicolas Cage in a
instead of
Transformer
Marky
movie.
Mark.
Whoo!
John Bernthal instead of Josh Duhamel.
Woo!
Timothy Oliphant instead of, or no, Timothy Oliphant instead of Josh Duhamel. John Bernthal instead of Santiago,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, which is the actor's name. I'm not being racist. The character was Santos. The actor is Santiago something.
They got real clever with that one.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
another one, you know. But anyway, they get to the
We don't have
submarine.
time for namings.
They get to the submarine. It's an old World War I or World War II
World
submarine.
War II diesel sub.
But it's also
the
a
window?
transformer.
And I was looking. I was like, I'm not a huge submarine expert by any means. I can't think of one that has a big glass.
No, it seems like a
window.
really bad idea.
It seems like a terrible idea.
and it's So it's also a transformer or a ship, maybe?
They call it a they being the
Josh Duhamel's
TFR, right?
TRF.
TRL. TGIF.
Yeah, Total Request Live.
So
called it a
Carson
transformer.
Daly and his group are
Also basically just Josh Duhamel's.
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting. But no, one of them's like, oh, the sub jumped its blocks or whatever the word is they use.
It's a transformer.
It's a
moorings.
transformer.
Yeah.
So that's them calling it, but never transforms. It just goes like,
It moves itself.
yeah.
Oh, Anthony Hopkins yells at little kids.
Yes, he
Oh,
does.
yeah.
There's those kids that are in, because it's like a museum of the submarine. They get to go inside of it. He goes in. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my submarine!" Basically, and these little kids are just like, "What? Did Hannibal Lecter just yell at me?"
I gotta go change my underwear.
Yeah, because he was like, this area is now closed forever.
Yeah, but he's not going with them on their adventure.
No.
He needs to go have his
he's
own.
Got something else to do, which is show up at Stonehenge and die.
He needs to have his moment.
Yeah, which he doesn't.
Look, I've seen this before, and I still thought he's a transformer, right? I thought for sure.
Oh, you've seen this before?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, and I only know this because when I hit play on it, it was at the credits, and I was like, "Well, my work here's done."
No,
I've already seen it.
When we hit play, it's the opening thing that says like, whatever companies that are involved and stuff. I was like, is this the end credits? That was a quick one.
That's weird. So maybe I didn't watch it. I don't know.
No, it's only the first like title screen, and then it goes into like animated stuff of whatever. But it's like the very first one. I was like, it looks like end credits, and I was so happy. I was like, it's over.
Just all of us come to the podcast, like, don't recommend. See you guys later. Here's your 3-minute podcast.
So there's a submarine chase. Josh Duhamel and his people have little. The Abyss subs that are chasing.
That's all I
this
thought
one down.
too.
This whole sequence, they had those subs, and then when the ship comes out of the water, all I could think of was the Abyss, which I mean,
you
we
got
did just watch.
these
but,
like neon jellyfish. Like
Yeah.
they look cool, but everything's very abyssal.
yeah.
It is. The eels.
This is where suddenly Marky Mark and Vivian are wanting to fuck because she walks in. He's lifting up his shirt to look at the little gloop that's
They're
going
called
around his body.
muscles.
No, that's not gloop. I've got gloop.
The
But
talisman.
the talisman is like just zip zapping around
I
his
mean,
body.
he lifted up his shirt so we could all take a peek at the fucking 12-pack he's rocking.
Yeah.
But it's funny because
she walks in.
it's because we're seeing the talisman, but we know in real life, obviously, that's not there. So it's just a scene of Marky Mark holding up his shirt like the situation, and fucking Vivian walks in, and they're just staring at each other, and I'm just like, well, how weird is this in real life?
Yeah.
Like, it's going down your pants
It's
there, buddy.
it's got a grip. It's a gripping. Is it hurt? Is it tight?
Is it tight?
Yeah, and then he's like, maybe we should find out, and she's like, maybe we should.
I was like, it
and
doesn't hurt.
Cogsman comes back in because he shot himself out the torpedo tube to go get fish.
I love that, dude. I love that
He
scene.
comes back with tuna and starts beating him to death on the fucking submarine there. But he's making them a romantic dinner.
It's like,
Even though he's telling them not to
meal,
fuck.
right, bro?
Well, hey, be romantic. Keep in your pants. Maybe he made himself ship captain. He can marry them.
Oh.
And they have this thing where it's like, is this a date? No, it's not a date, whatever. And then it doesn't matter because we're back into action.
We're crawling through
They don't even
like a
get to eat.
Prometheus ship or something.
Yeah, they get down into the ship underwater. At the
seems to
same
know-
time, and I guess Anthony Hopkins does do something because he goes and sneaks into the Prime Minister's office.
Oh, that's right. That's
Oh,
right. He's
that's
like,
fun.
oh, you
That was
have
watch.
another fun one.
Yeah. Is the Prime Minister in? The guy doesn't answer him. He's like, the Prime. He does say who. That's right. The Prime Minister. I need to talk to him. It's urgent.
Oh, it's urgent.
But you know what? I'll just go use the back door. Dickhead.
Yeah,
fuck
dickhead. Calls
Oh,
that
yeah, he
dude a
does call him a
dickhead.
Yeah, he's straight up. He's like, I'll use the back door. Start like, dickhead.
And they don't follow him. I'll use the other entrance.
Yeah. If this is America, you're getting tased, bro.
Yeah. These cops are just like other entrance, right?
And then he sneaks through the
That's
wall.
rich.
And the prime minister is on the phone. He's like, and the president's is in his.
Yeah, all the world
His
leaders are
bunker.
hiding in their
Is
bunkers except
Putin
him.
in his bunker?
And he's like, why don't I have a bunker? No.
I want a bunker.
The prime minister starts trying to interrupt Anthony Hopkins, and he's like, shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You shut up. You shut up. Shush. Shh.
And then
Listen.
all he says is something wit wicked, and the prime minister's like, oh, okay, security, you leave. We've got a discussion to have.
He used the secret password.
And they're on the underwater alien ship, and Josh
Second
Duhamel and his
stupidest
men.
thing he said.
Yes.
Josh Duhamel and his men get into the ship too. Barely,
they're
they're
following.
crashing into walls and shit. Like,
I don't think there's any world these little fucking mini submersibles are keeping up with a sub,
no.
especially a sub robot.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it's not like it's actually a World War II sub. It's a robot or something.
Or something.
And then At the same time, Day Trader apparently shows up with the Autobot shit. We don't see him again, but they say, "Oh, look, Day Trader got
He
our
doesn't.
ship."
You
He
got my
doesn't
message.
speak either. Yeah. So Buscemi's out.
Buscemi had one line, and it definitely was over the phone.
They asked Welker if he could do a Buscemi. Surprisingly, couldn't. Strange.
He was like, "I'm not going to disrespect him."
You pay that man.
Also, when did he send them a message?
Well, whatever they felt like it.
Because he said, "Oh, you got my message. You got my message, bro. You guys
Yeah,
read
I don't
it."
know, dude. Sometime Anthony Hopkins,
I have no idea.
when he told the prime minister, and then the prime minister told the American military what to do. I don't know, man.
And it was so fucking confusing.
But Cybertron gets to the moon and smashing that shit up.
That's gonna cause some tidal wave havoc,
Yeah.
right?
Serious issues.
Like
for
that's
our planet.
gonna fuck with a little gravitational pull. I'm not a science.
There's also a crashed transformer machine.
Yeah.
I think that's from one of the other
The
movies,
Dark
right?
Moon or
Dark of the Moon.
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, that was
Has
the
to be.
third one. That one got me. I never saw it, but every time the trailer started, I was like, "Ooh, something sci-fi, space, the moon, secret robots," and then it's
Gotcha.
like, and then you see the robot, and I was like, "Oh, Transformers."
Starring Leonard Nimoy? Huh, what is this?
Yeah, and then it's like, and I was like, "Oh man."
And I'm out.
I don't even think I saw a Transformer. I think it showed that, and it said like Leonard Nimoy, and then it says Michael Bay, and I was like, "Oh,
Motherfucker.
they got me." Every time I saw the trailer too. Oh, still.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Goldfish
Aw.
brain.
So they find it's space robots that should be exciting.
He's not wrong. That's a very true statement. Space robots should be
I think
exciting.
the thing is
Daleks.
with these movies, they're not exciting because there's just too much action. It's so much that you're
And
exhausted.
it's so fucking generic.
Yeah. But they find Merlin's tomb in this spaceship.
Yeah. No, go on. What
And it's
else?
just a skeleton with a stick, and Marky Mark is all mad about it.
You got me here for a stick?
I could have fucking cut this off with a fucking oak tree in the backyard. The one I hit little kids with.
Yeah, I've got one of these already. It's for beating Vietnamese guys.
Pick your switch.
But when she picks it up, it turns into the staff, which I'm like, why didn't we try that first?
Yeah.
It's a transformer artifact. It's going to transform.
And
Also,
Only
there's
little
a
girls
shit
can
ton
use
of
it.
Transformers in here that are like quote unquote dead.
Yeah,
They're-
there's these
they're
knight.
dormant,
That's the
yeah.
knight ones, but they're like the first one at least is like a skeleton of a knight inside of a suit of armor. I'm like, why is he rotting?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand.
Why does he have human features?
I just don't get it.
Oh,
But, yeah, the
I
staff
forgot. It's because it's all the
transforms.
12. There was, 12 Knights of the Round Table and 12.
Yeah.
And 12 robots.
Robots
Even
to
though
go
when they're
with
talking
them.
about that,
There's only 5.
yeah, all the knights of the round table put their swords in, and then the robot knights do it above their head, and there are 5 robot swords. I'm like, how hard is it to just animate? I guess 7 more robot swords. You don't have to
We didn't leave
copy and
ourselves
paste,
enough
dude.
room.
Yeah. I guess they're too big, right? We have to make a circle around these little tiny humans. Their swords have to reach. We can't all get in that size circle.
No.
You're going to give everybody sword envy.
But so Nemesis Prime shows up somehow because Cybertron's not there yet. I guess he jumped through space.
Yeah.
He shows up, steals
He's got
the staff.
rocket boots, dude.
Then why didn't he use them to get to Cybertron?
Because he just
got
got him. It's an
upgraded.
upgrade, yeah.
Oh, okay.
His dommy got it for him. His dommy dearest.
But he steals the staff from her and like shoves it into a little pocket.
Yeah, inside of himself. Well, I mean, how do you get cigarettes in prison, dude? Shove them right up inside
He
yourself.
puts that staff in his prison pocket.
You ever seen Oz? All kinds of things get shoved into you.
And then we cut to like, so the ship is coming up from the water. It's still underwater at this point, but it's on its way up. And Nemesis Prime and Bumblebee are fighting on the outside of it, but we didn't see the fight start. It's just like suddenly they're fighting.
Yeah.
Okay. Jaeger even says, like, you gotta fight him, B. You gotta fucking do it.
Yeah,
it's
he
up to
says
you.
something to him,
You
but,
gotta,
like-
you gotta turn into that devil again.
We don't even see. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
he
tells them
brings up
that.
the World War.
And so, yeah, then cut to that.
They're just fighting.
They're just fighting.
I'm not that I need to see it start, but it's just weird to just have like one of your 12 climactic battles happen off camera.
This should be a big moment between fighting friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Once they get above the water, we get a little more of the fight,
Yeah.
but like it just starts.
Yeah,
it's
they are.
it's like we're focusing on the humans and the fight's happening in the background, which is just weird for a movie called Transformers.
Yeah.
Transformers.
Although-
we
We
I like
were
you, boom,
we
boom,
were
down.
praising that
Thank you.
during our Godzilla Patreon episode, the Godzilla 2014, when it's the humans and the fight's just happening in the background. But it was done better
Yeah, absolutely.
because that movie is also told from the perspective of the humans. This movie's not told from any perspective.
I remember now watching the Rise of the apes planet, this beast war thing, whatever the fuck it's called. And I remember
Kingdom of the Planet of the Transformers.
Yep, that's the one. I remember with the person I was watching, I turned to her and I said, "You know what I don't need in my Transformers movies anymore? Humans.
Yeah.
I just don't. It was fine. I get it. You're trying to live alongside with them. Let's go to either a planet or a place of the world with no humans because you don't do it well enough to what you're saying. Like Marky Mark is all over this fucking movie while this fight scene's happening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look right.
No, it
Just
doesn't.
make this a fully CG movie. It already is.
Why do we need Mark Wahlberg here for this fight scene?
Exactly.
And then
But they come
Bumblebee
out.
talks.
Yeah, Bumblebee has his voice, I guess because he really needed it.
Is it because
It's been inside of you this whole time.
is it because his planet is right next to him and he's
Maybe. I don't know. There's no reason because like they
I
literally
guarantee
show
you nobody did that fucking work.
They literally show you it's a voice box that has to be changed out. So how he suddenly has it right now and then doesn't have it again later, but then he does have it again.
Yeah, I don't
know. Maybe you know what? Got it. So he talks in movie quotes. He's using his own voice from the first movie.
Now that's the stupidest thing you've said. Where are we? We're now.
But he gets his voice back, and by talking to Nemesis Prime, turns him back
Get
into
it
Optimus
right.
Prime.
I haven't heard your voice since the
First movie. Since the fall of Cybertron. Onslaught and Megatron steal the staff from Optimus Prime, and then they go and so the Cybertron's getting to Earth now.
Yeah.
And it's putting these big claws in Earth, just taking out swaths of the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Because from space, these things are huge, and they're smashing entire continents.
Yeah.
But then on the ground level, it's like little... they're big, but they're not. This would have wiped out England.
Absolutely. This is even if their bastard plan was to like just do this and leave, we are devastated as an Earth. We might not recover.
Again, I said it earlier. It's like the Eternals.
Yeah. With the hand coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're so fucked.
But so then the Knights come and they start beating the shit out of Optimus Prime, and they give him a death sentence. But
You have failed us.
Marky Mark makes a sword and stops.
I
a
know it's supposed to
transformer?
be like Excalibur, right? Or
Yeah.
an Excalibur. This Transformer is in full down swing.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be like a 1-year-old trying to stop me from hitting with a broomstick with
This
another
Transformer's
broomstick.
sword alone
tripping
weighs
over that
more
girl.
than
Yeah.
Optimus Prime.
Absolutely.
Because these things are
It's-
bigger than him.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing. Like, do something else. Have a big dome come over him or something.
And
Have
they're
a
like-
ray of light
they-
shine out and like.
But then he never has the sword again. Use the sword in battle. Or turn it into a gun. I don't know. Wasn't that in the last
That
movie?
was in the last one,
Do it
which
again.
I conflated because I was like, it's gonna be in this, right? Last Night is the one he has a gun sword thing, but nope, it's
He just
the last
cries and runs around.
one.
Right after he saves them, Optimus Prime is like, Earth is the only place that ever allowed us to call it home. And I'm sitting here going, when did that happen?
Yeah,
Every one of these
I think
movies.
at the end of
the first
the
one.
first one, maybe.
Well, because at the end of each movie, he calls the Autobots, I found a safe place. But then the next
Yeah.
movie is like, just kidding, go away.
Psych! It turns out it was April Fools. It's one of the many speeches he gives, by the way. I
That's
feel
all he
like
does.
he's just a rah-rah.
Yeah.
And even fucking Crosshairs, I love his speeches.
I tear
he's,
up every time.
He's doing his best Jason Statham, by the way. You
That's the
noticed
green
that.
one.
Yeah.
Crosshairs. I asked her, I was like, what's the green one's name? She's like,
Crosshair.
That's also John DiMaggio. Yes.
I love hearing his speeches. Brings a fucking tear to my eye every fucking time.
They should have had oil dripping down his eye.
Bleep. No, oil is something very different. Should have washer fluid.
Yes.
Oil,
fluid.
that's a leaky cauldron.
But so the Autobot ship is going to take these Ospreys up because it's above their flight window or
What's
whatever.
that word?
The movie told me, but you said it the other
You
day.
said it the other day. I
They
was
said
like,
Osprey like 40 times in this movie, and I was like, if only we'd done this one before whatever episode that was.
Monster Hunter.
That's what it was, yeah. I feel like I've already forgotten Monster Hunter.
I never forget a moment that I teach someone something, Dirk.
E for educational. So the military is fighting the Decepticons on this floating piece of rock that has an ignition chamber
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah.
Dude, they're throwing around terms like ignition chamber, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Tony Hale, this is part of the hour-long cut, and ain't nobody complaining.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Hale is just throwing physics bombs at you, but throughout this movie, he has a way of dumbing it down for all of us. Okay, see if you can wrap your brains around this. It's like Tiger Woods has got a 9-iron, and he's trying to chip off of a fucking sand dune in Africa. Like, he always has a way to bring it back. Okay, you dummies aren't understanding what's happening. This Earth is going to become a microwave, and we are the popcorn. Jiffy Pop, go boom.
That was such a dumb one,
You don't have to be an asshole just because I don't have a fucking degree in quantum physics, fucker.
So Quintessa activates Stonehenge with her butt plug. More dominatrix stuff.
Oh.
Anthony Hopkins gets blasted by...
My safe word is roll out.
I think Megatron blasts Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah,
no,
Because he's just
Anthony's cane-
running around...
Anthony's cane turns into a gun.
It's a transformer gun.
Oh, does it? Didn't even see
it
that.
Oh, yeah,
happen.
you didn't see that?
No.
He's standing behind Stonehenge and he fires at
I think
Megatron.
it got lost in the wash of just action nonsense.
Understandable. But it's Anthony
It was
Hopkins having his
It was
moment.
lost in the Bayhem.
Yeah, he was.
So that's why he said he got to have his moment. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like,
'Cause
you
he
ran
delayed-
past Stonehenge and got killed.
He delayed just enough.
Yep.
Okay. Cogman goes to him as he dies, and he's like, and Cogman is like, out of all the earls I have served, you were by far the coolest. That's the last words Anthony Hopkins hears.
I was
before
hoping that
dies.
because he says earlier, like, out of all that I've served,
hate
you're
you.
the worst.
Yeah.
I was hoping he was going to say that again, like, you are the worst, but I love you. Sir, can I strangle you now?
Optimus Prime gives another speech and then flies out of this movie for the next 20 minutes or so.
Because this whole plan that they have orchestrates on them pushing into this, what did you say earlier? Ignition chamber? Fuck off. And,
Because it's where the staff is, and Vivian has to grab her staff.
and Merlin's grave is on a boat. Okay?
Exactly. I don't know.
But no, their whole plan like is all the Autobots and the TLDR are going to push forward and fucking take this whole thing. You got no Optimus.
Yeah, they get there and they're just like, Optimus Prime didn't make it. Let's move on. I'm like, apparently another part of the hour-long cut. Something
Yeah.
happened. He was flying up and got hit with a rock.
I bet you there was a battle,
Yeah, there's something.
a fight between him and.
Because then when he comes back to the movie,
He's got dragons.
when the dragon suddenly reappears, it just rides in with Optimus Prime on its back. I'm like, okay.
Where did you come from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
This dragon has not been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So Cybertron is destroying shit. Like, it shows it like crushing cities and destroying pyramids, which according to the trivia, this pyramid that gets destroyed was already destroyed in one of the other movies.
Yeah, it's second or third one. I think it's the third one, the one with Leonard Nimoy.
And it's the same. The
I've
trivia
seen all
says
these
it's
now,
the same,
and I still don't know a fucking thing.
but the trivia says it's the same pyramid. I'm like, what? They rebuild it, and they're like, now chip away some stuff so it looks old again.
Fucking weird.
They drop.
Lazy.
They drop into Cybertron, and she gets the staff, and then the dragon's with them. No, she doesn't have the staff, so I don't know why the dragon's with them.
The dragon's with them because I wanted it to
conquered
be.
Okay, got it.
Maybe that's why he was gone. He was fighting it. Because didn't he have to fight the dinosaurs in the last one before they trusted him or something?
Yeah.
Shit?
So maybe that's what we missed. Maybe
I don't think we missed it, Derek.
I don't know.
It's
Something
fine.
happening. Something. There's a firefight.
It was a firefight! That's what this movie's missing.
Willem Dafoe.
As Optimus Prime. You know, I'm something would transform myself.
Autobots roll out. Whatever. I don't know. So Isabella and Squeak stowed away, so they're in this fight now too. They're just there to be there. I guess so. Squeak
has his
scene.
fucking
Yeah.
moment.
Because there's a giant turret shooting at everybody. The planes can't come in. The jets can't help anything.
Yeah, there's a
and
big
that's why they're
gun.
Like,
What's your answer for
Bail
this, Tony
ship.
Hale?
bail ship, put on your chutes, and fucking bail.
Yeah, basically
Nothing's
he's like,
working.
everybody bail. We'll shoot this part of Cybertron. It'll swing down and hit the other part of Cybertron because it's all got dangly bits.
Okay, you're not understanding the science. So here's what it's like. It's like a wall of Applebee's with all those machines, and the ball goes in. You ever played Mousetrap? It's like Mousetrap, you idiots.
But he's like, we're going to knock the ignition chamber down. That'll ruin everything. It'll stop it. And of course, once it happens, it doesn't stop
stop it.
anything.
Because he's avid. He's like, magic and hobgoblin shit won't work.
Yeah.
How about physics, bitch?
And these demon transformers that are suddenly there, again, deleted scene, I'm sure, form to make Tim Curricus.
Uh-huh.
It's this giant devil robot.
That's Onslaught.
Infernicus.
No.
They called him Infernicus.
It's Infernicus.
Oh,
But he
Onslaught. I thought
called him
Onslaught was
Tim
a.
Cursus.
Yeah, it looks like Tim Curry from Legend.
Uh-huh.
But because when it gets broken apart, a couple seconds later, it's like 5 or 6 little devil robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he
you know
beheads
what?
them all.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter because you forgot who he was.
So yeah, Squeaks takes out
Not
the
you,
gun.
sorry. He's talking shit to whoever he kills. He's like, "Did you not remember who I am? Fucked around and found out." And he cut all 5 of their heads off.
Yeah, one fell swoop.
And Izzy tells Squeaks, "No one will notice you. You're small and ugly."
You're small and ugly. No one will notice you. Good
Rude.
God.
First of
Yeah,
all.
rude. Small is already enough. You could, like, you're small and crippled. No
You know
one's gonna
what?
give a
Also,
shit about you.
this is another insult to this robot because earlier after Turtle Shell guy was killed, she's like,
Canopy.
everybody who cared about me, everybody I loved is dead. And Squeaks is sitting there like, like I thought I was your little brother. I thought I was your
Right?
homie. And she's like, fuck you, you're ugly.
And you're
Go
small.
die.
You should turn into a Vespa so you can ride away.
A
Yeah,
roller
he
skate.
takes out the gun. The missiles take out the chunk and it knocks over the chamber and nothing happens except for now when Vivian's trying to get the staff, they're tumbling through the air, so they're sliding back and forth. And I'm wondering, I mean, I know obviously all the stuff around them is green screen, but I'm like, did he put them in a big room and just like tilt this thing back and forth and they're just sliding around?
Yes.
And wait a minute, are we either skipped it or we're about to get to it? Doesn't Quintessa just get like unceremoniously destroyed?
Yeah, she has it because it's after it's while she, right before she goes. It's happening during all this.
Okay,
Yeah,
trouble.
totally.
okay.
We're right there.
And another reference that we almost get was because Optimus is kind of fighting her and she's domming him up. And he's just, say hello to my little friend,
Bumblebee.
B. But he doesn't say little friend. He's just
Yeah.
like, say hello to my friend. I'm like, you're right there, dude. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, and you know what? This is a perfect moment for a Bumblebee movie quote, but instead I think he uses his real voice again.
Yeah.
Because he sneaks up behind her and kills her unceremoniously.
It
like you
should be
said.
you want to play rough?
Exactly. You want to play rough? Okay.
Okay.
Bam! And then takes her
Okay,
out.
I'm reloaded.
If you're going to do the reference, do the
They
reference.
couldn't
Yes.
pay for it.
You don't have to pay to
Maybe.
say it.
Yeah.
We
I
just
think
said
it's.
it. Hopefully you don't have to pay to
Oh,
say
we are.
it.
If we have to pay per quote,
Brian De Palma's about to sue the fuck out of us.
we are in so much trouble, guys.
But yeah, the chamber's falling and it doesn't stop the energy, and she ends up grabbing the staff, but she lets go and falls again.
It's because they're rotating. She
Megatron
was
or
upset.
They're in the dryer.
Optimus Prime just kicks Megatron through a wall right out of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to be my brother, Clam.
Once.
And apparently they go weightless? Question mark.
Because they're up in the gravity, like
Well, they're
out in the
falling.
It's a
but
free
they're,
fall.
They're getting lower. They're not weightless. They're just falling and can't touch the ground.
I don't know.
It's like those Russian jets that you can go do weightless stuff. They dive bomb from a certain altitude and you go.
Oh, like the planes that go up and down, like the OK Go video.
Yeah.
Alright.
So she grabs
All right.
on, or
I'll
so they
take it.
do this weird.
Okay, Go should have been playing this whole
Yana.
fucking time.
Your Honor, I will accept it.
Counselor?
Jay Watnick here. I do believe he is correct.
So this is the little slingshot move where Prime pushes her towards Marky, and then Marky
They
like
got this from
swings her
Talladega
around
Nights.
and like,
Slingshot?
shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Sam Witwicky. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was my old partner.
They get because they're in a time bubble, so they float for a second, and then he throws
catches
her,
them.
and then it's throw. I don't know.
Uh-huh. It's a stupid moment.
She pulls the staff out
Ooh.
Yeah, and
and then loses it again.
Oh.
but yeah, she does it. She pulls it out and stops the energy transfer, and then doesn't have it anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Something,
it's gone.
something. It's still out there for the next one of those next movies.
They'll ignore it in the next movie.
It's still out there for you to refer to when you definitely refer back to the mythology of this movie. And they land, and the only time we see Optimus Prime as
A truck.
the truck, he comes out of like, because they all think, oh, they're dead because it's a big cloud dust.
Oh yeah, because the planet is now crashing down on
Yeah, because
Earth.
now Cybertron is crashing into Earth. I'm like, well, you're still destroying Earth.
I don't think it's all of Cybertron. It's just the piece that the military cut off.
Okay, just the
But
bits
it's still
that are
it's still
already
going to be
there.
fucking devastating.
Well, any of the bits that are attached to Earth would now be falling, right? So all those places.
No, because I don't think.
Because they can't pull out. It doesn't have power.
Oh, you can pull out.
I can't do it, Captain. I haven't got the power.
No, I think.
That's one of my worst.
God, I don't fucking get it. 'Cause
I don't
then
know.
I don't get this
Optimus
fucking
Prime's
movie.
like both our planets need to heal together. Like right here, though?
Maybe that's why the next movie goes back to the 90s. They're like, dude, I don't know.
I don't know what. And that's what I was, yeah, that's like what I was getting to earlier. When you reboot it, you got to do a hard fucking reboot because you've written yourself out of this.
Yeah.
Unless time. Travel.
And Optimus Prime gives another speech for the end of the movie. And he says, because he's talking about Unicron, and he's like, there's more to this planet than meets the eye. And everybody in the audience claps and cheers. He said it! You know, because there's more than meets the eye.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
No.
Transformers, more than meets
She's staring
the
at us like
eye.
she doesn't know, but she should know.
I do know.
All right.
Transformers, you're
And
gonna
then-
punch a guy.
This movie ends. What?
He broke my stare.
Transformers, you're gonna punch a guy. It might be me. I don't know.
I was like, this is another one of those things I'm only going to hear in editing.
I like to leave little snippets for you.
But then this movie ends again with Optimus Prime, and I'm calling the Autobots to Earth again.
This time, not fake. I promise you.
That, you know what? Tom Hanks as Optimus Prime. I almost just said Autobot.
I still think we should recast Marissa Tomei. I can be an Autobot. Autobots, roll out.
I'm Optimus Prime.
My biological clock is ticking. Nope, sorry. It's just this clock in my car. I can't turn it off.
It's just this clock that killed Hitler. Now let me go back and hang out with those ants over there.
I actually transform into a nail salon. It's not very useful, but I do it. I could be Megatron. We were brothers once. Once.
And then, of course, there's a setup for another movie. Quintessa is still alive, but she's a human now? Question
Yeah.
mark.
Oh, is that what? I just thought it was like some fucking stupid robot.
She scanned a
Human
person,
thing.
and now she's.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
no,
she was already much smaller than all these Transformers anyway.
Yeah.
Bigger than a human, but not by much. Maybe she was like 9 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that makes sense. I thought it was just like some fucking emissary of it.
Yeah, it's this desert, which like the top-down shot.
It
Whitney
does the
kept
weird thing over her face.
Whitney kept asking. It's like these dunes, and she's like, "Is that like whipped chocolate mousse? Like what? Because it looks awful."
Pie topping? What is
Yeah.
happening
You
here?
can't just shoot the desert guys. You had to CG this. But there's some random dude, and she's like, I guess he's going to one of the horns.
Yeah,
And she's
don't
like,
don't do that.
She's like, I wouldn't touch that. He doesn't like it. But her face does do like a
The magic-y
beep, boop,
tweet.
Yeah,
beep,
I knew
boop.
she was a transformer of sorts. I just didn't realize it was
Yeah, it was her.
Quintessa.
I don't know. I'm assuming.
I believe you.
It was. Because
But-
then her next line is, I'll teach you how to kill him.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of this movie, thankfully.
Fuck off.
Dude, it's such a marathon. All of Michael Bay's movies, like he has a style, but it's just so much.
How much cocaine did he do while
Dude,
filming
I don't
this?
know.
I think he
like-
went to meth at this point.
I think he was doing more cocaine when he was making good movies.
meth.
I watched so much of this movie and then had to pause to go do something. And I had watched 1 hour and I was so fucking pissed because I said, there is another movie left.
That's exactly where we paused it.
There's an hour and a half left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
An
dude.
hour and 32.
Because
Oh
it was
my
like
God.
it was like around the time they were meeting Anthony Hopkins at
Yeah.
the robot retirement home or whatever, and it was like, oh cool, so we're getting toward the end, and I was like, good God.
Yeah. And as you said, like earlier off air, you almost wanted to pause again. Like you don't want to do that.
No.
You just want to go through. But how many fucking endings? We talked about something else recently on this podcast that had multiple endings, and it's like it's the Lord of the Rings of fucking endings.
Yeah,
like,
Godzilla 98. That's
Yeah.
because it ends more times than I think it was Godzilla.
like, can
98.
you please let me leave this theater or this movie? Can I go?
Yeah.
I'm fucking held hostage.
I'm saying no. Don't fucking watch this.
No. Okay. We we jumped ahead to that.
Oh, yeah.
I had one little thing to mention.
Oh.
This one was partially filmed in Arizona. I only saw in the credits. It said thanks to the state of Arizona, the city of Phoenix, and ADOT, the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay.
Because apparently they shut down a section of the 303 loop for 5 days to shoot some of this movie.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure people in Phoenix loved that.
Yeah, for this. It wasn't like you even like got inconvenienced for a great movie.
I remember in the first ones, they were at the Boneyard a lot.
One of them was filmed at Luke Air Force Base, partially. I know that, but either way, I noticed that in the credits. But yes, so that's a no from wife. Jack?
No.
Surprise.
Yeah, it's just so fucking long. There's not enough to do here.
It wasn't entertaining at all.
Okay,
Oh,
you know what
no.
though? I am gonna say this. I will buy this movie in case I have trouble sleeping. Because I was struggling to stay awake this entire fucking time.
Go get a bootleg copy so they don't get your money.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All the only parts that I was great with is SIR Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony
Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins and Cogman. Those
But
are-
I mean, now we're talking about what, 25 minutes of a 2.5 hour
I wonder
movie.
if there's
Exactly.
like a supercut on YouTube that just has those scenes.
If you can just look up those when he's doing like the shut up.
And it's not like you're watching those scenes out of context and you won't understand the joke because there's no context.
There's zero.
Not at all.
Yeah, I have to say no too. It's literally one long
fever
action
dream.
scene broken into like separate set pieces, but it just never stops moving, which sounds like a good thing. Because we've complained about action movies that don't move enough,
This is
but this is too much.
yeah.
Too much of a good thing.
Also, Marky
but
Mark's
it's
hair
not.
looks ridiculous.
Dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck is with his
We
hair?
didn't talk about that till right now.
No. What is with this fucking...
He's
who's
he's
that dude that you love from Shameless and the Bear?
Oh, lip.
He had that haircut at some point, right? He's got
Yeah.
this fucking
Shag.
Jeremy Allen White. Is that
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good look for Marky Mark.
No.
Go back to the fucking flat top, bro. You pull that off nicely. It's a clean look for us.
I can't have this haircut in Boston, though. They're
Oh,
going to
man,
kick the
look-
shit out of me.
They can fucking call me all kinds of names that I call the people.
I don't want to taste my own medicine, bro.
Fun fact.
I've tasted my own medicine.
I used
It
to
is
talk
bitter.
to Jeremy Allen White on Snapchat.
Ooh, girl. Bear with me now.
Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of Jeremy Allen White, when this was just like, it was just the hammering of stuff happening. It was just so much. I told her at one point, I think it was during the Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Or no, it was at the very beginning. It was with Marky Mark in the trailer and like the little baby
Marky Mark
dinosaurs.
and the
yeah,
trailer
yeah.
bunch.
The little baby dinosaurs. It's just so much hectic stuff
Yeah.
happening. I was like, this reminds me of that episode from The Bear.
Oh, the Christmas,
with the
episode.
Christmas
Jesus
You
which
Christ.
I
literally
love.
said the
I
Christmas
love that
episode.
episode, but it's anxiety inducing, and that's how I felt. I
Absolutely.
was like, it just
Guess what
stop
that scene
talking.
had?
You have to
Bernthal.
follow that up with like a fucking.
That did have Bernthal.
You have to follow that episode up with like a cartoon or something lighthearted.
God, that
or
episode
you're not
is
going to
so,
sleep.
We were watching it, and I think that when it ended, I was like, I'm done for the night.
Yeah.
like we gotta watch something
Spoilers
else.
for this real quick, but I mean for the bear. As the mother, Jamie Lee Curtis is cast so perfectly.
Oh, she's
Oh,
great.
I
Everybody,
I just wanted to put a
100%.
spoiler in case somebody doesn't want to know who it is.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, that's a great show though. But that just reminded me of that, not in the wellness that was made, but just the tension and the anxiety that I was feeling.
Uh-huh.
Not that they were trying to give me.
yeah, that's the thing though. The bear wanted you to feel that.
Exactly. They wanted you to feel like you were at dinner with this insane family, whereas this is just Marky Mark and Dora the Explorer in an empty trailer, and then all these CG cartoon people are making me tense.
Yeah,
Do you think Marky Mark ever thought he'd be hanging out with Dora the Explorer?
bro, I thought about it a couple times.
I don't hang out with those people, bro.
Bro, I'll hang out with them.
Explorers, I mean.
What do you mean those people?
But yeah, that's that.
Three
Thank God.
nose.
And we're only doing It's Gonna Be Bay for one episode a year
It's
for
Gonna
the
Be
last
Bay.
week of April. That's what we're gonna be doing. We can't do a whole month.
It's just too much,
Because-
It
guys.
is too much.
Now for May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, we'll be doing a full month of mental health movies, which is what we do on our Patreon, patreon.com/worstpeople, where we talk about movies that we love, movies that we watch to take a break from this stuff. They don't necessarily have to be considered, I guess, great movies by the world,
Just
but they're
us.
movies that we love and that we'll watch just to have a good time. So this upcoming month, if you're a patron, you can find out all the movies, but our next episode is going to be The Labyrinth. This is Whitney's pick. We all get to pick one, and then we have a classic one, and then we have a Patreon episode that is something that we all enjoy.
You remind me of the babe.
What, babe?
Babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
Who do?
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the babe.
I saw my baby.
Prepare for
Cry as
that.
hard as babe could cry. What could Derek do? Sit there and take it.
Prepare to listen to Jack sing like David Bowie all next week.
I'm so
Just in life, dude. Like, not even for the podcast. Just all next week. Hi.
So, yes. So, for more Bad Movies Worst People, you can go to badmoviesworstpeople.com. Send us an email, badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. You can get our Patreon that we already talked about on patreon.com/worstpeople. Jack and I have our Star Wars podcast that started this month. If you are a patron, you get it early. It will be starting next month in May for the normal folks. It's called Han Took Shots First,
Yeah, you normies.
where we're covering live action Star Wars from episode 1 to episode 9 in chronological order, including the TV shows. It's a good time. And for our very first official episode, because we already had mini episode out, we still got Whitney to join us.
Yep.
She told us, stop talking about Star Wars, do your own podcast.
I'm not going to be on that podcast. Guest number 1.
But that's episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So
They
go
tied me to
find
the
that.
chair.
It'll be out to the public very soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack. Good night and podcast. Roll out.
I was going to start with an Optimus Prime line, so
Okay.
it works.
It's like a really big line of Coke.
That's
Dude,
Nemesis
pour me, I
Prime.
need you to pour me an Optimus Prime line. Dude, I am going to fucking walk that line like Johnny Cash.
It's like a semi-truck worth of...